Been waiting for. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, where tonight, coming up next, it's the NBA on TNT. Michael comes home. Michael Jordan makes his first appearance in front of the home folks since returning to the NBA. The Shaq and the Magic in town. Don't miss it. It is a night the city of Chicago has longed for, a night when that bond between player and fan will be celebrated. Tonight it's the NBA on TNT. Michael comes home.
The following is a presentation of TNT Sports.
Jordan. Oh, boy. 63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record. Jordan at 50. Again, Jordan at 50. He defends his championship. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. The third team in NBA history to three-peat, and the first one in 27 years.
Olympic champion and gold medalist, the United States of America.
When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
That should be run down by Michael Jordan.
6 from North Carolina, number 45, Michael Jordan. Jordan still looking for his first field goal.
I'm not here to give you a second-rate, a cameo appearance. I came back here to do the job, the top job that I always have done.
Rarely is a sporting event so eagerly anticipated, but then again, you don't see something like this every night, folks. Michael Jordan makes his first appearance in front of the home folks since returning to the NBA tonight here at the United Center. And folks, Chicago is ready. 24,000 plus tickets have been sold. If you can't get a seat, maybe you can stand. 750 standing room only tickets have been sold. Not the greatest seat in the house, but folks, for this night, anything will do. Even the folks at Michael Jordan's restaurant have been pumped up over this all week, discussing Michael's return over Michael's favorite macaroni and cheese, no doubt. They're pumped up and ready to go at Michael Jordan's restaurant. But this is the sight, all the eyes of the NBA on the United Center as Michael Jordan returns in front of the home folks here at the United Center. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, and I don't even know how you can begin to describe the feeling in this city this week. I mean, you could have Elvis coming back to open up for the Beatles reunion concert with Mike Tyson fighting on the same card, and folks, it couldn't match what Michael Jordan has done to this city, the grip he has on the sporting community here in Chicago, Illinois. It is absolutely amazing. We'll have it all covered here in the next half hour. They tip it off at about 8:40 tonight. I should remind you, if you were looking in your TV guide and you checked out TNT, 8 o'clock Eastern, Kingfish. We are going to show you Kingfish, the TNT original production starring John Goodman, but it's after the game. So first we'll show you the King, and then we'll show you Kingfish. We have got you covered here tonight. Not just me. Craig Sager's been on top of the Michael Jordan story since day one. Let's check in courtside right now with Segs.
Well, Ernie, no one since Mrs. O'Leary's cow has set the city of Chicago afire like Michael Jordan. Banners along LaSalle Street tonight celebrate the reincarnation of his basketball career. If T-shirts were ballots, not only would he be holding center court here at the United Center, but he'd be presiding as mayor of the Windy City. I was with him this afternoon to a private shoot-around, and also as he entered the arena tonight. And yes, even the great one gets nervous. We'll have an interview with Michael Jordan in a few moments, but now let's go to Nicole Watson.
Well, thank you, Craig, as of next Sunday, the Orlando Magic will have played 4 games, and even by NBA standards, that's a grueling schedule. That also includes the Phoenix Suns. Now, Coach Brian Hill says that he will not buy into the hype, that he hasn't even mentioned those 2 bad words, Michael Jordan. As far as Anfernee Hardaway, he was even questionable up to the start of this game. He dislocated the index finger of his left hand. It is very swollen, but here in Chicago, the only doctor makes the special elastic splint, and he'll have it on tonight. He will play. As far as Shaquille, well, he says, what is everyone going so crazy about? Don't believe the hype. He says for him, it's business as usual. The only new thing is that he got a new hairdo. He's bald now, just like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Don't believe the hype. I say don't believe Shaq. This is not your normal everyday game. This place is packed, and I think everybody's really waiting for the moment a little after 8:30 when the starting lineups are introduced, and the first words, I guess, when Michael comes out, 6'6" guard from North Carolina. This place is going to be bedlam. Doug Collins joins me. Doug, you coached this guy, Michael Jordan. You watched him lead the Bulls to 3 titles, and you've watched him in 2 games back. What sticks out?
Well, Ernie, I think the interesting thing to me is in that game against Indiana when he started out, the energy, the hype, I can't imagine how he was feeling and what he was like to get himself prepared to play that game. We'll take a look and see a couple plays that I thought really stood out in that game. He was put in a position early to beat the shot clock. And you're going to see right here, the ball's going to come to him, something Michael has always done great. And he has to force his shot up, and you can see how flat the shot is there. He really wasn't prepared to take that shot. And now you're going to see him on one of his patented drives, and he really doesn't finish strongly. So the 2 things there that stood out in that first game was he didn't have the game legs with his shot or his ability to finish.
19 points on the night in his debut, 7 for 28 from the field, very un-Jordan-like, but I think nobody really expected him to go gangbusters the first time out. Second game against Boston, more like Mike, because he was above 50% shooting, better than that, 27 points to lead everybody. This was more of an MJ performance.
Well, I think the real key was it was a more relaxed environment for him, too. There wasn't quite as much hype, and he got himself into a good rhythm early. They went right into the post with him, something that he loves to do. It's his patented move, his little fall-away jump shot, and you're going to see he gets his legs underneath him. He gets really good balance. You're going to see nice lift on the shot. More importantly, look at the trajectory and the arch on the shot, the good rhythm. He buries it. Then he comes, you see the nice elevation on the shot, the good rotation. Both of those were the kind of shots that we've seen Michael Jordan make through the previous 9 years of his career.
Phil Jackson has pointed out, of course, it's going to take time to gel and to get to know these guys. It's not the same unit that Michael was here with when they won titles, but he certainly showed indications in the Boston game, I think, of knowing where his teammates were going to be. They knew where he was going to be, and he was having fun.
Well, I think the passion and the love for the game comes out in Michael once he starts getting the feel of the game. And you could see he and Scottie Pippen really had some fun on this one play in Boston Garden. They ran a little give and go, and Michael palms the ball, and he's going to sort of show it to Scottie, take it away, fakes it. The defender turns his back, and he lays it over to Scottie. Scottie lays it in. Michael backpedals. He has that little smirk on his face, and he's saying, you know what, I'm doing what I do best. I play basketball.
That was vintage MJ. You know, this city, folks, is just overcome with Jordan mania. And Michael has become part of the fabric of this city. We have something very special to show you here. Tommy McCracken and the Force of Habit Blues Band kind of showing that this city is beating as one, the heart of the city beating as one, but maybe beating as 45.
Welcome back to Chicago, sweet home Chicago, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. 1, 2, 3.
One guy, I mean, he's more popular than the President of the United States, so I'll tell you, Michael can turn any city around. He can turn the world around.
It's sort of like finding that Beethoven, after writing 5 symphonies, is coming back to possibly write 6, 7, 8, and 9.
It's magical in town when he plays. Streisand comes to sing after a 20-year retirement. Wherever she plays, big night, right? Big night. in Chicago when Michael plays.
Chicago is the place to be today. The town is crazy. His airness is back.
At a Italian-American dinner last night, and that's all people were talking about, in Italian. You go to a Polish community where they have their newspaper in Polish and don't speak English. There's a Michael Jordan headline, which is the only part I could decipher. This is the most diverse city in America, I think. But in any language, Michael Jordan is, you know, a god here.
Come on! Baby, don't you wanna go?
As they say, it's got to be the shoes. Our thanks to Tommy McCracken and the band. You live in Chicago. Doug, have you ever seen it like this for any reason?
You know, Ernie, I was just looking around here at this arena and the feeling. I've been in professional sports for 23 years, and it's almost sort of scary that a man with the ability to play basketball has not only this city, but the world really in the palm of his hands. That's sort of frightening.
It's going to be a grand night here at the United Center. One guy who wishes he could be here is Chicago native Isaiah Thomas. We'll be talking to him next. Star-studded evening. There is Spike Lee. Keep it here, folks. We'll be back. Welcome back. This was the scene this afternoon. Michael Jordan arriving at the United Center to shoot around. You know, he did yesterday for the first time shoot baskets here at the United Center. Did it again today about mid-afternoon in preparation for tonight's game with the Orlando Magic in front of a sold-out house here at the United Center. You know, Isaiah Thomas grew up in Chicago. He'd love to be here tonight, but duty calls. He's now with the Toronto Raptors, the expansion franchise, and he is scouting collegiate talent at the NCAA tournament tonight. But we were able to hook up with him a little bit ago and get his thoughts on Michael's return. Here's Zeke. Isaiah, I assume that on TV you have watched Michael Jordan in his return to the NBA now. How would you sum up what you've seen so far?
Excellent. The other night in Boston, he had that 50 look on his face, and if he hadn't gotten in foul trouble, he probably would have gone for 50. He's remarkable, and the way he's come back, I think it's very exciting for basketball. It's very exciting for me now that I get to watch him as a fan and don't have to compete against him anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, is your outlook a little different because now you're an executive in this league with Toronto, and you got to be liking the fact that, hey, fans, Michael Jordan next season coming up to play the Raptors. You thinking about that yet?
Oh, without question. We've already made plans that we're going to take. We play in the Sky Dome, and we're going to take the floor and set it right in the middle of the Sky Dome so we can have 60, 70,000 people watching us play basketball. I think it's going to be great. He's the greatest show on earth right now. He's what Muhammad Ali was to boxing. He has that type of persona. He has that type of aura. You know, it's fantastic, and it's very exciting to be in the NBA at this time.
Do you agree with the theory now that Chicago is immediately a contender for the crown because Michael is here, or is that asking too much?
I think you know, the perception that he's what's the word I'm looking for? He will be the catalyst to more or less propel them to get to the stages of the NBA Finals. I think he's definitely gives their team a new rise, a new energy level that you've seen them play with in the last couple of days. You know, he's tough to guard. He brings an aura and a persona, and just his presence alone out on the basketball court is worth, you know, 20 to 30 points a night from a defensive and an offensive standpoint because he makes people miss shots, he causes such havoc, and then he makes a couple of shots himself.
Quickly, what's he going to go for tonight against the Magic?
I think it's a 50 night.
Man.
I think it's a 50 night, and because the way, you know, he likes to do things in a grandiose style, coming back to the stadium, the energy that will be in that building that they haven't been able to transplant from the old Chicago stadium, I think will be in a new stadium. And if he gets to rolling and hits his first couple of shots, I think the momentum that he'll bring will propel him to a 50 night. And by Orlando being on a back-to-back night, I think it could be the potential for a blowout.
It's in the books, Zeke. I appreciate it. I say what now?
I just wish I could be there to see it as opposed to having to go scout the college game.
Well, I tell you, your hometown is a buzz. I'll tell you that right now. Zeke, good to talk to you. Good luck, all right?
Thanks.
All right, will he go off for 50? Who knows? There are 24,000 and change here, hoping that he does. Michael Jordan yet to make an appearance on the court. And the fans here are standing wherever you look, just waiting to get a glimpse of Michael Jordan. Almost lost in all the hoopla, the fact that the team with the best record in the NBA is here, the Orlando Magic, with their 50 wins, in town with Shaq and with Anfernee Hardaway and the rest. Let's go down on more on that on the Magic with Nicole Watson.
Well, thanks, Ernie. Earlier in the season, there was so much hype about an Orlando Phoenix Suns final. But, you know, the Phoenix Suns didn't want to buy into that necessarily. They took the hype off of them. The Orlando Magic said to that, listen, we've got the best record in the league. We don't care if the Bulls are around. You have to respect us.
He's the player that we all idolize, even though we won't say it, you know, publicly. But he's the guy that we all, you know, strive to be like, in a sense. Not totally, but in some aspect of his life and in the way he plays on the court.
Can you have a handful of guys in the league that as soon as they touch the ball in the open court, you have a feeling something good is going to happen. And with Michael, it's both ends of the floor.
He makes me better, you know, just by watching his moves and the things that he does out there on the court, offensively and defensively. And when you play against the best, then you can use him as a measuring stick to see how good you are. So when I play against him, I'm definitely going to give him my all and see what I can do against the best.
We have to contend with Michael, but Michael has to contend with our team also, a team that he hasn't faced really in the last 2 years. So it's going to be a great challenge. It should be a great basketball game, and I think we just have to treat him with the same respect that we would treat any great player, but at the same time go out and compete at the highest level that you possibly can.
There you see the Chicago Bulls, some of them leaving the locker room. Ron Harper there, Larry Kristoviak. Michael will make his appearance soon. We'll be back with more after this. The electricity is running through the United Center like you would not believe. Michael Jordan is in the hallway, off the court at this point as the Bulls gather to take the court for this game with the Orlando Magic. And there you see Michael, who will play his first game in front of the home folks since returning to the NBA. We're all over this thing, and as soon as he takes the court, you will hear a roar from this place that will not be equaled until at least the starting lineups are announced a few minutes after that. We are live at the United Center for Michael Jordan's first game with the Bulls since his return, his first game here in Chicago, and the city is just up for grabs here at the United Center. While we wait for Michael to take the floor, let's introduce Warren Moon. Here's Michael. Before we get to Warren, here's Warren, who is, of course, the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings and, of course, a huge NBA junkie from early on. And, Warren, we want to talk about what this night is going to be like as far as handling pressure as we watch Michael Jordan and the Bulls take the court. Listen up. Here comes MJ. guess that will officially go down as the first bucket made by Michael Jordan in the layup drill, and a huge roar went up from the folks here at the United Center. All right, Warren Moon, the newest member of the Turner Sports family, that is out of the way now. How will a guy like Michael Jordan handle a night like this, the pressure of the entire city and just of the moment on him?
Well, I'm sure this is a night he's thought about for a long time, and he made a lot of decisions before he came back. He's back now. The people are excited about it. I've never been around a frenzy like this before in sports. I've been around a lot of big sporting events, Super Bowls, NBA championships. This is some type of electric feeling here in this building tonight.
What would be the key to getting through a night like this and playing as well as you're capable of playing?
But I think it starts from the time you get up. You want to try and go through a day like you regularly would for any other regular season game, knowing that the hype of the game is going to get you up and prepared for the game, and the fact that you're returning home for the first time. So you want to be as normal as possible throughout the day, and I think he's done that. You can look at his demeanor. He looks like he's calm, he's collected, and he's ready to go and have a big performance tonight.
Warren Moon will be working the room as the night goes on here at the United Center. We'll hear from Michael Jordan when we come back. His return, the talk of the sports world. Tonight, Michael Jordan playing for the first time in front of the home folks. He talked about his return with our Craig Sager.
Just enjoying the game and trying to win another championship. I mean, it isn't the money. I mean, you know, my contract basically is the same now as it was when I retired, but it's the true love for the game and certainly, you know, the appetite to get back on top.
Can you come back as strong as ever or better?
I don't think it's going to be a point where, you know, I can't do the things that I used to do. If so, I wouldn't have came back. I love it because I know I still can do those things. That's the reason I'm back. I'm not here to give you a second-rate, you know, cameo appearance. You know, I came back here to do the job, the top job that I always have done, you know, and I'm going to maintain that, and I'm going to continue to do that. You know, it's just going to take a few minutes to get my skills back to where I want them to be.
Friday, you go against Shaq. Is that a challenge you've been looking forward to, the way he has improved?
Yeah, he has improved. And yeah, it's not just him, but I mean, their team has improved. And then even more so improved with Horace. I think with his leadership, it's certainly going to be very helpful to them. But I think what is going to be key for us on Friday, and one of the reasons I did want to come back, was it's going to be a measuring stick, you know, in terms of what we have to do to get to that level of a game by playoff time. You know, if we do well, then we know we still just have to sharpen some of the edges. But if we don't do well, at least we know what we have to work on to get to that point. So it's a great measuring stick for us on Friday.
Already in this building, the noise is overwhelming. I can just imagine what it's going to be like when Michael Jordan is introduced in just a few minutes. You're going to see it here on TNT as the Bulls take on the Magic. We'll turn it over to Bob Neal and Doug Collins for all the action when we come back.
Michael Jordan comes back to sweet home Chicago. You're looking at the United Center, the house that Michael built. In the Hall of Fame, inside the house that Michael built, you see his locker room that was transferred across the street from the old stadium, the place he electrified, called the Madhouse on Madison Street. And now, for the first time, the United Center is welcomed in to the Madhouse on Madison Street category. Hello, everybody. As a native Chicagoan, I can join with all of these people to feel the goosebumps on Michael Jordan's return here. No matter where you look around the world, you'd never find another city like this one to welcome someone back with such open arms. And Doug Collins, as we get down to the game now, let's talk about Michael, how he adjusts to this team and how they're adjusting to him.
Bob, I thought in the first game the team got the ball to Michael, stood around and watched him play, almost looking for verification. When they caught the ball, Michael, is it okay if I play with you? I thought in Boston Garden the other night, they did a much better job of letting Michael fit into them. He is so good, he'll find his spots. They don't need to change anything they're doing.
Okay, let's go to Orlando. Now, we know Orlando has been on an emotional downer lately. They've lost 8 out of 10 on the road. This will be a big test, but there's 2 players particularly I want you to talk about here tonight, and that's Horace Grant and Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, it's going to be very emotional for Horace Grant. We know he's coming back to Chicago. His first game here did not have a good night. 32 minutes, 10 points, 9 rebounds. They lost by 32 points. The fans are going to be on him. They're going to let him know, we don't like that you left us here and went to Orlando. As far as Shaquille O'Neal, Shaquille is trying to downplay this, say this is just another game. It can't be. Great expectations on this team, Bob. They've lost 8 out of 10 on the road. They need a good showing tonight. This is a playoff atmosphere, tremendous distraction. This is what they're going to see every night come playoff time.
In a moment, Doug and I will be back with our pop at the top, and I'm going to ask the coach to tell us how to watch Michael early. Stay with us. We're live from the United Center in Chicago.
What if there were no sports? If you couldn't join a team, what would you join? If you couldn't dream up touchdowns, what would you dream? What if you did something? What if you coached a team or put up a new rim? What if there were no sports? Would I still be your hero?
Welcome back to the United Center. Bob Neal and Doug Collins with you, and our Budweiser pop at the top. I've been waiting for this. You know Michael Jordan. You traveled with him, lived with him, coached him. How are we going to watch him early in this game tonight to determine how he's responding to all of this?
Well, you know, Bob, I've always felt that of all the athletes I've ever seen, Michael's had the greatest feeling for what's needed on a particular night. Do I need to come out? Do I need to score? Do I need to come out and get my teammates involved? Get the pulse beat of the game? But remember now, Michael Jordan is a human being. A lot of these people don't realize that, but he is. I can't imagine what's churning inside him right now. I think he's going to be very hyper at the start, and especially when he plays against Penny Hardaway. My experiences with Michael Jordan has always been, whenever he plays against somebody, he wants to issue a statement to them. Look out, Penny Hardaway.
There's your coaching clinic, and that's our pop at the top. In just a moment, back for the biggest moment in Chicago, and that's when their public address announcer introduces Michael. Of Ray Clay, the public address announcer here at the United Center. He did the introductions at Chicago Stadium when the Bulls were winning their 3 world championships. They were so dramatic, many teams around the NBA have copied them. But there is nothing like the moment in Chicago after Ray Clay introduces the visiting team. The lights go down, the music starts, and the Chicago introduction. Let's join Ray Clay now as he's introducing the Orlando Magic.
6'8", Donald Royal. And the other forward, 6'10", from Clemson, Horace Grand. At center, 7'1", from Louisiana State, Shaquille O'Neal. A 6'7" guard from Memphis State, Anfernee Hardaway. And guard from Illinois, 6'6", Nick Anderson. The Orlando Magic are coached by Brian Hill, assisted by Richie Anabato, Tree Rollins, and Tom Sterner. The trainer is Lenny Courier.
All I can say is, wow, this place was electric. I only hope you got a sense of it on the television screen. Phil Jackson, who's retained his poise during this incredible, earth-shattering in the world of sports news that Michael Jordan was returning. Michael is back, and tonight I had a brief moment of dinner with Phil Jackson, who was calm and collected, sitting with Tex Winter, and he said I know that Michael will work back in. We know what he can do. It'll take a little bit of time for all of us to get used to having Michael Jordan and to quit standing around and watching him play on the same team. And Doug, that's something you pointed out in first game 1 and game 2, that Michael Jordan is such a star that even the teammates can watch it.
Bob, he will find where he fits within this team. He wants the guys to continue to play their game, and he'll fit and adjust his. You know, the great players don't want the other guys adjusting to them, and I look for him as this next month goes along to really start taking his game back to new heights. And, you know, right now he's still feeling himself along, shooting more jump shots rather than taking the ball to the basket.
And we've seen it so many times as he stops over to talk to the Chicago announcer, Johnny Red Kerr. He dusts his hands. He wipes his feet on that homecoming pad. I have a feeling it says, "Welcome to Sweet Home Chicago, Michael." Shaquille O'Neal says, "Just business as usual for me." But you could see before the game that Shaquille is enjoying the stage.
It's going to be very interesting to me to see how Orlando handles this. This is almost an overwhelming kind of evening. And if you look out there, remember, this is a relatively young team. Other than Horace Grand, Anfernee Hardaway, a very young player, Nick Anderson, still a very young player, Shaquille O'Neal. This is a real test for this team on the road in this kind of environment.
And they're back in action. Orlando Magic with the ball. B.J. Armstrong matched up against Hardaway. Jordan against Anderson early.
Well, Nick Anderson must keep Michael busy, not let him roam. Michael's going to be the double teamer. The ball goes into Shaq, and he misses his first little jump shot.
Purdue with the rebound. Bulls with the ball. Remember, they run that triple post offense. Phil Jackson said it's just the same as usual, except, of course, we can do a couple of more things with Michael. Early down to Scottie Pippen. To Will Purdue. He's fouled. It's Shaquille O'Neal.
The Bulls have so many weapons, and when you think of their offense, their post players are actually Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. So both of those guys will command a lot of respect in the low post. Will Purdue is a guy that gets a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of easy baskets, because he never stands. He moves to the open area and gives them a passing lane.
And he shoots about the same level of free throw percentage as Shaquille O'Neal, 55%, one of the areas that Will Purdue is weak in. However, he hits the first one there. I asked Will about his feelings about Michael. What did Michael say to him when he came back to the team? Purdue misses, out of bounds, Orlando ball, and he said, "I'll tell you the same thing I told Bill Cartwright. Get out of my way in the middle."
I think the one thing these guys have to do is be prepared now when Michael penetrates the basket to always be ready for a pass coming at a very improbable angle.
1-0, the Bulls on the Purdue free throw. Nick Anderson. It's 3-1.
Nick Anderson
Orlando
has become a terrific three-point shooter, Bob, shooting almost 43% on the season. He's 10th in the NBA. He's made 162 three-point shots this year.
Jordan gives it up to B.J. Armstrong. Pippen misses the two. He stepped on the line. Nick Anderson with the rebound, and not to be lost in all of this, remember, Orlando is the #1 team in the East. Will Purdue got in front of that pass, tipped it. B.J. Armstrong.
The Bulls will look to run more now. They'll look to try to create turnovers. They really have 4 very good lane runners on the floor right now.
Donald Royal with the drive. Shaquille with the tip. It's kept alive. Shaquille Jordan comes away with it. He's on the run. Pippen left. Armstrong right. B.J. Quickly followed by Shaquille O'Neal. On the court-length pass, Orlando answers quickly. It's Chicago 6, Orlando 5.
One of the things the Bulls are going to have to be aware of is that Orlando will run even after made field goals, and Shaquille has a tendency to lay back and look for the easy one behind the defense. He got it that time.
Michael fakes the long-range jumper, steps in. Out of bounds, tipped by Anfernee Hardaway, so the ball will belong to Chicago with 8 on the shot clock. He is tight.
I was kidding Mike Mathis before the game about calling a foul on Michael, and it's like he helped Michael there calling a little tip ball so Michael didn't shoot an air ball in his first shot in the United Center.
Purdue misses the bank shot. 6-5, Bulls by 1. 9:47 to go, quarter number 1. Nick Anderson. 2 threes in a row. He is a local player who played at Simeon High School here in Chicago, and he's pumped up for the game because he has a lot of his family and friends here.
And he's played against Michael Jordan Jordan before, so he knows Michael, so he's a little bit confident. He has his rhythm in this game early.
Kukoc in the post, the 6'10 Croatian sensation, Tony Kukoc, who's had a little bit of trouble getting used to playing with his idol, a man he grew up idolizing. Shaquille over Purdue.
Well, that's terrific low post position, and you get the great spacing because Nick Anderson's hit 2 threes. Michael has to really cover him out there. They drop the ball in the post, and Shaquille's got so much room to work before the double team can get back to him.
And very early, Phil Jackson calls a 22nd timeout to regroup with his team. Obviously a very tight Chicago team, but they're down to 10-8, Shaquille operating early.
Well, I think this is a very good start. Look at the spacing on the floor. Nick Anderson, and Michael gives him a lot of room there. Normally, Michael is going to be up either pressuring the basketball or he'll lay back and read that passing lane. Many times he'll jump up and steal that entry pass. But I like what Orlando's done early in this game. They've taken this emotional surge. They played about 3 minutes, and they really haven't got out of the scheme of what they want to do. Anfernee Hardaway has brought the ball up the floor. He's got them into their attack. They've looked inside to Shaquille O'Neal. They kicked the ball outside, and Nick Anderson's hit 2 3-point field goals. So they've had a good inside-out attack here in the first part of the game.
Speaking of that, Anderson outside 6 points, O'Neal inside 4, all 10 of the Magic points. Bulls down 2. Loose ball foul.
Loose ball foul, Chicago Bulls.
It's on Scottie Pippen, his first personal.
See, I look for Anfernee Hardaway to try to post up against B.J. Armstrong. They have the advantage there. They have not looked to do that there in the first quarter, but I think that he can take him inside and maybe give Shaquille a chance to maybe step outside and take a blow. Let's see if they go into post to Anfernee Hardaway here.
Thought about it. 10 to shoot. In the post to Horace Grand. Armstrong stepping around. And that'll be his first personal foul. B.J. Armstrong.
His first, the team's second.
Bob, what they did, Anfernee Hardaway tries to run this little rub cut. When they do, they switch it and they put Scottie Pippen on him, so they're trying to take away his post game. He goes out to the corner. Here he is now posting up inside. See if they have to double team.
Pulls up from 17 feet. O'Neal with the offensive board and the foul.
See, all the things that have been lost, Bob and Michael coming back, and still the Bulls have an inherent weakness with this team. They're not a good rebounding team. They don't have a physical presence inside. For them to win the championship, they must shore up that lane area. Remember now, no Bill Cartwright, no Horace Grand, no Scott Williams, all guys that played big minutes and big roles in Michael's championship years here.
And from a few years ago, no Charles Oakley. Phil Jackson did tell me that Will Perdue may not be big enough or strong enough to handle Shaquille O'Neal, and we'll see more time from Luke Longley. Longley steps in here after only 3.5 minutes have been played in the game. Longley, a bigger player, longer arms, and he's only 10 pounds lighter than Shaquille O'Neal at 7'2", 270 pounds. Posting Michael. 8 to shoot.
Nick Anderson does not want to let Michael go baseline. He said if he goes baseline, I'm in trouble. So you could see his first move there was to try to seal that baseline off. He had quick hands. He knocked the ball away from Michael on the dribble.
6 on the shot clock. Jordan open with 5 left. Michael misses. He's 0 for 2 early in this game. New shot clock for Chicago. Back inside to Michael. Fakes the pass. Illegal defense called against Orlando.
The first violation awarded. The Bulls receive a new 24-second clock.
The illegal defense called on Shaquille O'Neal. Brian Hill, who's under a lot of pressure. With all the talent he has, everybody expects nothing less than a championship from him. Longley kept it alive. Punched away by Pippen. Kukoc controlling. He finds Pippen. Jordan. Not again. No question. He looks more like he looked in the Indiana game that NBC telecast last week than he does against Boston. And that's because he's here in this new building, and he's already said, I am not a fan of the United Center yet. I love Chicago Stadium.
Well, I think it's important for him to try to get an easy one or maybe get to the free throw line. There's B.J. spotting up for the three, so he's got 2 3-pointers. But Bob, as I've said on our opening, Michael Jordan is a human being. He knows all the hype. I mean, this city is waiting for him to take him to another championship. I can't imagine the thoughts that were roaming through his head today as he was getting ready to come to this building and play this game tonight.
Chicago's regained the lead, 11-10. Hardaway double-teamed. Anderson open. He has 2. Make it 3 3-pointers for Nick Anderson. 13-11 Orlando. 7:19 to go in the first quarter.
Orlando in a very good rhythm, and you can see that when Chicago double teams, the spacing is there, and Nick Anderson is giving him an opening to find him for that open three.
As Nick told me, he says, hey, I'm home too. Jordan, double team, finds Kukoc. Misses from long range. Horace Grand to Anfernee Hardaway.
Boy, Anfernee Hardaway has become a sensational young player, Bob. His game has been elevated so quickly in such a short period of time.
The double team on Shaquille. He tried to hit Donald Royal. 4-on-1. Kukoc from B.J. Armstrong will lay it in over Nick Anderson. It's tied at 13. Michael Jordan 0 for 3. Hasn't scratched yet, in case you're tuning in late. And if you're tuning in late, you must have been at a wedding or a bar mitzvah or something very important. Horace Grand. That's a 2.
That's a big shot, too. Horace buries his first shot. You hear the boos. But you know what? Those are really boos out of respect, because they understand that without Horace Grand, they would not have won the 3 championships. So this is almost like what I used to say about Pete Rose when he would go on the road and he would get the boos. They booed him because they respected his talent. And that's what you're seeing these Chicago people do here tonight. Well, the Magic are off to a good start. They lead 15-13 with 6:13 remaining in the first quarter. We'll take a look at Michael Jordan's first shot. And, Bob, you can see sort of straight arms it a little bit. Doesn't have the good smooth release. Front rim normally means you didn't get your legs. It wasn't a real aggressive shot. And, again, Michael's feeling himself along. I'd said before, I think it's important for Nick Anderson to keep him involved defensively. Nick has done that as Michael has roamed. He's spotted up and hit 3 threes. And on the other end, I think it's important for Michael to maybe get to the free throw line or maybe get a layup just to get himself in the rhythm.
I remember something you said as a coach. Watch out when Michael gets lathered, because he gets hot, too. He came out with some sweat streaming off his head. 1-on-1. Blows by Royal. Pulls up. He's fouled. Will go to the free throw line. Donald Royal with the foul.
See, that's important, because now when you go to the free throw line, you have a chance to get a rhythm, step up the line, make a couple free throws, and you get that stroke. You get that good feeling. Michael with the quick first step. He wants to go baseline. You can see that quick burst. Donald Royal gets the hand in there. Michael wanted to go for that patented bank shot, just shot it a little bit short, and also a little bit short on the free throw.
A great free throw shooter, particularly in the clutch, is Michael Jordan. 80% plus for his career.
Well, on the season, he was 13 out of 14, and there is his first point in the United Center.
The back end of a free throw. That's going to be a trivia question.
You say, what kind of dunk did Michael Jordan do to get his first points in the United Center?
How about this? I counted. It took Michael Jordan 38 shot attempts before he got his first dunk coming back anyway. 38 shot attempts.
There's Nick Anderson once again spotting up, and he is in rhythm and on fire. That's 4 for 4 from the three-point line for Nick Anderson.
Doug, you pointed out early, it's a 4-point Orlando lead, that he would have to keep Jordan tied up on Jordan's defensive end. Well, he's done that. Pippen jumper.
Michael loves to roam defensively. The Bulls are showing a little bit up-court pressure, and if Orlando's able to break it, they're going to get some open shots. So he's going to get another one right here because they broke the press.
Oh, that would have been 5. Too many. Jordan with the rebound. Bulls have the numbers.
Back to him, B.J. Back to him.
That would have been the time.
Looked like he could have dropped that off. Maybe Michael could have got a dunk. See, if I'm playing with Michael right now, I don't go out of my way to get him a shot. But if I can get him off, I'd really like to be able to do that.
B.J. 4 out of 4, 10 points in this game already. It's tied at 18. 5 minutes in the first quarter. Shaquille O'Neal lays it in. The lead back to Orlando. Shaquille has 6 points. He's carrying 1 foul. Jordan hits the jumper from the left side. His first jump shot in the United Center with 4 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's 3 points now for Jordan.
I think it always happens. You get a chance to get to the free throw line. You just get that feeling back in your shot. Michael made the free throw, then follows it up with a jumper.
Anderson for 14. Nick Anderson has just lit it up here tonight. Already 14 points in 7.5 minutes.
And I like their strategy. Go at Michael. Make him play both ends. Indiana did that with Reggie Miller. He had a big first game with 28 points.
Kukoc 1-on-1 against Horace Grand. Hands it off to Luke Longley with a reverse. Luke with some pretty good moves inside.
Very strong. Last year played very well in the playoffs. Bob, he had a broken leg. He was out almost 2 months. He really now is just starting to get back his legs.
Bad pass from Horace Grand to Shaquille. Shaquille handles it anyway. There's the double team.
Now, this is an area that he's really improved on, is his passing out of the double teams. That was sort of an excuse-me shot. I don't have anything else I can do with it.
That's right, nobody there. Kukoc all the way inside. Pippen back. Jordan! That got him on their feet at the United Center. Bulls by 2. Now Royal traveled. Jordan hits his opening jumper, and then he comes back with his first dunk.
Well, gets to the free throw line, gets himself in rhythm, buries the jump shot, nice rhythm, nice trajectory, and then Scottie Pippen did what I'd said before, gave the ball up and got Michael the slam dunk that everybody was waiting for. That's what I was talking about, getting Michael involved emotionally.
Orlando now has Tree Rollins in, and Michael Jordan has loosened up. There's the tongue. With 3:11 to go.
You know what it's done also, too?
In the first quarter.
It has frazzled Orlando. 2 straight turnovers. The psychological impact is amazing.
The Bulls up by 4 now on a 10-4 Chicago run. You're talking about Michael Jordan giving up 14 points to Anderson early.
Well, you know, you see Michael go at Nick Anderson, and he's standing up straight, and his next reaction is he has to bend over, and when he does, he gives Nick Anderson this driving lane. In fairness to Michael Jordan, when you're away from the game for 17 months, I don't care if you've been playing baseball or what, you've not been playing the kind of sport that you need this kind of energy to play. His defense is going to suffer a little bit right now until he gets himself where he can play both ends of the floor the way he did once before.
By the way, we'll be following the Michael Show into New York City on Tuesday night, 8 Eastern time on TNT. Hubie Brown will join me for that game, 8 o'clock Eastern, Madison Square Garden. And Doug, that'll be another madhouse.
Well, it's going to be that way wherever Michael goes the rest of the year into the playoffs. Be aware now, Michael's hit a couple shots. They like to reverse an alley-oop him for a dunk in many instances coming out of a timeout. So maybe the next couple times down the floor, look for that.
Pippen blows right by the defender. Lays it in easily. That was Anfernee Hardaway.
Anfernee Hardaway has not gotten in this game yet. He looks like he's just sort of drifting right now. There's another turnover. This time Nick Anderson picks it up, but Anfernee Hardaway has got to get himself involved. He's now matched up against Michael Jordan.
10 to shoot. Horace Grand from 18. Pippen rebound. Bulls up by 6. Their biggest lead in this game. Jordan. Rollins with a rebound.
They're so concerned about Michael going around him. They're going to give him that outside jump shot.
Brian Shaw in the ball game. Horace Grant, jump hook, yes, over Tony Kukoc. Horace Grant.
It's a big night for Horace. A lot of emotion in him. He's a very emotional player. Has a tendency sometimes to get caught up in these things. He did the first time he entered, did not play well. His team was blown out.
Anderson on Pippen. There comes the double team. Open man. Long range. That's a 2 for Tony.
The weapons that Chicago has on the floor right now, if you look out, the big, strong center and Luke Longley, if you look at the perimeter people, all these guys can shoot, pass, handle the basketball.
Horace Grant gives it up to Hardaway, who hits a 3 from the corner. That might help Penny get off the mark. He, by the way, is playing. You see advantage on his left hand. Dislocated his finger prior to last night's game, but did not turn the ball over. Luke Longley with a bad pass. Here comes Hardaway.
Look out. Look out.
Longley fouls him.
He is an exciting, explosive player in the open floor. His game, Bob, this year, you look at his numbers. Anfernee Hardaway's 10th in steals. He's 12th in assists. He's 13 in scoring. His team has the best record in the NBA. And you just see him glide to the basket with the ease of the great players in this game. This guy has greatness written all over him over the next few years if he can stay healthy.
Still learning the point guard position and still trying to take care of the ball. Anfernee turns it over 3.3 times a game. And Michael Jordan goes to the bench for a rest. Pete Myers, the man who replaced Michael in the lineup when Michael retired, comes on the floor. The Bulls leading by 2 with 1:25 to go in the first quarter.
See, the Bulls have a tremendous luxury now. They can rest Michael, bring in Pete Myers as a defensive player, and they still have offensive weapons in Kukoc and Pippen on the floor.
Bad pass, Rollins. B.J. Armstrong. Bulls by 4, 1:18 to go in the quarter. The Magic came out here looking very poised. They started getting rattled when Michael started scoring points.
Absolutely. They had 2 quick turnovers, got a little bit out of sync. All in all, down only 4 right now. They've had a pretty solid first quarter.
Horace Grand. Jump hook didn't fall. He'll go to the line. And here's the bad pass from Tree Rollins and B.J. Armstrong on the run.
Well, B.J., these are the kinds of baskets you don't want a great shooter to get. B.J.'s already got 2 threes, and he's got 2 breakaway layups. So B.J.'s got 10 points in the first quarter, doing it inside and out.
Actually, as I look at it, Doug, he's because of the threes, he has 12.
Okay, 12.
And B.J. Armstrong has always been known as a very good shooter, and as a 2-guard kind of mentality, you're going to see Michael Jordan playing a lot as a point guard.
They have so
Something
many.
you came up with many years ago.
Well, they have so many different things they can do. You look at the Orlando backcourt right now, and you see Penny Hardaway, Nick Anderson. If Phil Jackson wants to, he slides back, Michael back, plays point guard. He can have Pete Myers out there with him, go 2 big guards, slide Scottie into the backcourt, have Scottie, Michael, put Tony over to small forward. A lot of flexibility. He can go big, he can go small. That's what Michael and Scottie's versatility gives you.
I like the thought of that lineup playing a team like Phoenix.
Oh, boy.
A lot of points in that game. Bulls by 2. Under a minute to go. First quarter. Jordan on the bench. Luke Longley. Pass inside. Kukoc is fouled as he slams into the very big chest of Tree Rollins, but Scott got him early. Dennis Scott.
See, Orlando would like to string out that screen and roll, make the player go east and west, but Scottie too quick for Tree Rollins. Got the quick pass to Luke Longley and caught him in the rotations.
B.J. Armstrong, defended by Hardaway, gets past him on the dribble inside the Longley, lost the handle. Out of bounds. Horace Grand stepped on the line. Chicago ball. 37.6 to go. First quarter. 12 on the shot clock.
See if the Bulls try to get a quick shot out of this and go 2 for 1. They can get 2 possessions for 1. So look to see if they get a quick one. Scottie may be stepping right back in after he throws the ball in bounds.
Looked for Kukoc, didn't get him. Then found his second option. B.J. Armstrong, who missed, and Shaw comes down with a rebound.
That's a good shot, though. They got the shot they wanted. It was a good one for B.J. Now they're going to get the last possession of the quarter.
And a chance to tie. And for Orlando, with the Bulls scoring 32, which is a lot of points in the first quarter, Orlando hanging right in here. Remember, the Magic average is 111 a game. Hardaway from 25 feet. Longley tipped away by Rollins. It'll be Chicago ball. 9.1 in the quarter.
Well, Steve Kerr will come in now. Phil Jackson will spread the floor. They'll probably keep B.J. out there. I imagine they'll take out Luke Longley, one of the big players, go 4 3-point shooters, let Scottie penetrate. If no one helps, take it to the basket. If they do, kick out to one of the 3-point shooters.
Steve Kerr, I'm going to laugh about this. He said, I came to play to the Bulls to play with Michael. He retires. He said, I can't wait till the first time I'm in the ball game on the floor with Michael. Guess who's not in the ball game?
Yeah, I know, and this is a guy who's going to be the beneficiary, a lot like John Paxson was in the championship days, where you float on the perimeter out of the double teams on Scottie and Michael, you find the open spot and you bury the shot. He's the second best 3-point shooter in the league.
Pippen double clutches.
Oh, that's a bad foul by Tony. 0.4. They're over the limit, so Horace Grand will shoot 2 free throws. So in sitting to get the last shot of the quarter, you foul, and now you put Horace Grand on the free throw line. That is not a good play.
And that's the second personal foul in this quarter on Tony Kukoc. Remember, he's out of position. He's the man who plays power forward at the beginning of the games. And Phil Jackson said he'll be using Bill Wennington a little bit at power forward, and of course Corey Blunt. And those are really the 3 power forwards. And Krzysztofiak is back, but he's not quite healed up from his injury.
Well, I think that Tony right now initially will be the guy who will suffer most from Michael's return, because Michael will have the ball. And Tony's used to either he or Scottie having it now in this offense, so he's going to be the third option. Tony's going to have to pick and choose a little bit more within the offense.
0.4 of a second remaining in the quarter. A chance for the Magic to get out of here on the Michael returns to Sweet Home Chicago opening quarter, tied at 32. Horace Grant, 8 points in the quarter. That's the end of the first. But the man has not been Michael. It's been B.J. Armstrong. 12 points, including 2 threes. Michael Jordan has 7 points in the first quarter. Bob Neal, Douglas Collins back with you at the United Center. The Magic and the Bulls tied at 32. Michael Jordan spent the final couple of minutes of that quarter on the bench. Craig Sager's over by the Chicago bench. Craig, did you get any information from Michael?
Well, Bob, you know, this love affair the city has for Chicago is sincerely reciprocal. As we mentioned, as he walked in, he said he was a little bit nervous. As he came off the bench, I overheard his teammates say to him, "What's wrong, Mike? Are you nervous?" And he smiled and he says, "Yes, it really got to me. It really did." He started smiling. And as Doug Collins said, I think he's back in the groove now. Bob?
Michael Jordan is probably tired of seeing Craig Sager. Craig has been with him in his hip pocket since he returned to the NBA last week. So Michael Jordan 3 for 7 in the first quarter, 7 points. And the Bulls and the Magic are tied at 32. Some substitutions on the floor. First of all, Dennis Scott, Anthony Bowie, and Jeff Turner join Shaquille O'Neal for Orlando. Luke Longley from Michael Jordan. That's the third assist tonight for Michael.
Now, Bulls have gone big in the backcourt, so you got Michael and you got Pete Myers. So you've gone to a bigger backcourt to match the backcourt of the Orlando Magic. Brian Shaw at 6'6", Anthony Bowie at 6'6". This is the flexibility.
And Corey Blunt in at power forward.
Jeff Turner now will shoot the jump shot. If they switch it, they got to rotate to him quickly.
Excellent shooter from that area, too, and they did rotate to him quickly. 4 on the shot clock. It's blocked by Corey Blunt. Chicago ball.
They did not run that screen row well, and Chicago defended it very well. With Jeff Turner, he's got to set the good screen, get himself open, we can get those feet set. He's not a guy that will put the ball on the floor.
Can Corey Blunt be the answer at power forward for Chicago?
I think that remains to be seen. I think that he has some ability, but I think he has to be more consistent.
Michael Jordan one-on-one, open man, Pete Myers, out to Pippen, 7 on the shot clock, 5, who bails him out, 4, 3, Pippen bails him out. Many people think Scottie Pippen, who's having a career year anyway, will play even better with Michael back.
Well, I've always said that Scottie was a great Tonto and Michael was a great Lone Ranger, so I think that they're back in the saddle right now once again with each other.
I always said he was a great Bob Neal to Doug Collins.
Oh, Jeff Turner with the air ball.
Wow. Chicago ball on the violation, 36-32. Chicago ball. 10:37 to go, first half. Michael Jordan's homecoming from the United Center. Jordan has 7 points thus far, came out very nervous.
Watch Michael now. He's sneaking around there like he wants to reverse for a lob. He's in that wing area. You'll be surprised to see him get an alley-oop from Pippen here in the next couple possessions.
Brian Shaw trying to play Jordan. The penetration, the kick out to Pete Myers from long range. Rebound, Shaquille O'Neal.
Remember, if that's Steve Kerr or B.J. Armstrong, that's probably going to be a three-point shot that's going to be knocked in.
Brian Shaw with the penetration. The runner won't fall. Longley kept it alive. Shaquille came away with it and draws the foul. Bulls by 4, 10:04 to go, first half.
You think the referees are having a hard time saying number 45? It's like it's automatically 23, but very seldom did they call those fouls on Michael. So we saw in Boston the other night, he got 3 fouls in about the first 6 minutes of the ball game.
That's his first in this game. Shaquille O'Neal, the 56% free throw shooter at the line. He shoots 58% from the floor, 56 from the line. And by the way, don't forget, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll select the Budweiser player of the game. By the way, speaking of Michael and number 45, do you know that he wore that number in junior high school?
You know how people's minds work, though, when they don't have anything to do except sit around. They said the reason he's wearing 45 is because the next 2 championships they win are 4 and 5, and he just wanted to have that on his uniform. I mean, I've heard it all.
I like that. Shaquille O'Neal with the rebound. 7 for the Shaq. 3-point Bulls lead. Dennis Scott, the rainbow will drop out of bounds off the hands of number 45. I think it's the logarithms. Here's how you figure this. 2 times 3, then you divide by the square root, and if you get that, you get 45. If you cut that in half, it comes back to 23. It's a logarithm thing, doesn't it?
Way over my head.
Dennis Scott.
Dennis Scott has been in a shooting slump. He was 6 of his last 34 from 3. Then he had a good ball game, 5 for 9. The game we did against Phoenix last night, 2 for 9. Missed his first 7 shots. He's come out and missed his first 2 shots tonight.
Jordan.
Flat. Front rim. You can see it. The leg's not quite into his shot. And you know what? People are going to make Michael consistently make that shot until they really get up and challenge him, because you don't want him breaking your defense down. You'd much rather live with him shooting the outside jumper and getting your entire front line in foul trouble. And you saw what happened when we got everybody involved. Orlando got frazzled.
Jordan now 3 of 9. Corey Blunt posted against Jeff Turner. Luke Longley in the paint, back to Blunt. Blunt with a 14-footer. Nice soft touch from the youngster from Cincinnati.
If Corey Blunt will rebound, play defense, be active, get to the offensive boards, he can be a real live body for this team and really energize them, give them a lot of help. But again, Bob must be consistent.
Inside to Jeff Turner. He draws the foul. 5-point Chicago lead with 8:45 to go in the first half.
Personal foul, Luke Walkley, his second, the team's second.
Well, they've had the eyes of Mike Singletary. We saw it through many years of the Chicago Bears. Here, the eyes of Michael Jordan tracking Brian Shaw. And you know what? Even if his legs weren't in shape, those eyes would scare you into trying to do something. Say, here, you take it.
That's exactly what Brian said. As he said, Mama didn't raise no fool. Will Purdue's about to check back into the ball game for Luke Longley, who just picked up his second personal foul. Jeff Turner, if you discount the 17 years experience of Tree Rollins, who's also an assistant coach for Orlando, Jeff Turner has the most experience on this Orlando team, followed next by Horace Grand. After that, it's everybody 6 years or less.
Well, Jeff Turner really had a terrible leg injury last year. They missed him in the playoffs, and I thought he could really help them in the early rounds with his shooting. See, Michael, they're going to make him shoot jump shots. They do not want to let him get in the paint.
Over Shaquille, he misses. Corey Blunt rebounding, has it stripped. Dennis Scott with the ball for the Magic. A chance to pull to within one or tie. This will tie it if it falls. Pete Myers is fouled by Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw has really struggled with his shooting on the year. He's at 38%, shooting the three-pointers at under 26%. So if he's not going to be able to make that shot, he's going to have to try to get people to honor him enough to where he can create and penetrate, because they're going to double team Shaq and they're going to force him to kick that ball out.
Well, if he wants to learn something about threes, he can learn it from the man handling the ball right now. Kerr in for Scottie Pippen. Steve Kerr is the #1 three-point shooter in the NBA. Matter of fact, he's second behind Detlef Schrempf at 50%. Pete Myers. Nice hesitation. Hand off to Purdue. Jordan. Off the rim, too hard. Purdue back with the rebound.
Remember I talked about Will Purdue's very active. Shaquille didn't step back and get his body on him, and Will Purdue will hurt you on the offensive boards. He's the team's best offensive rebounder.
Bulls up by 5. Their biggest lead so far has been 6. Shaquille against Will Purdue. There's the double team. Corey Blunt breaking it up. 4 to shoot. Donald Royal, that's a 2. He stepped on the line. Excuse me, Anfernee Hardaway with a 2, stepping on the line. Donald Royal wouldn't want the criticism.
But he'd take that jump shot.
Yes, he would. Anfernee Hardaway, excellent defender on Steve Kerr. Dennis Scott on Myers. Purdue inside. Look how much bigger Shaquille is than Purdue. He's a 7-footer. 4 to shoot. Left-handed hook shot. Purdue goes after it and jams it.
Offensive rebound. You've got to block Will Purdue out, and Shaq stopped playing. You know what happens in many instances? Your top centers don't respect Will Purdue as an offensive player. Pretty soon you look up, he's got 8 or 9 points and 7 or 8 rebounds.
5 points and 3 rebounds now in about 4 minutes of play.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to respect him. You can't let him beat you inside.
Shaquille answers, is fouled hard by Purdue, but he missed the lay-in. Let's take a look at the Will Purdue human highlight film.
All right, when he shoots the ball, watch what happens when he comes down. His feet keep moving, and Shaq stops. When a guy takes that shot, you've got to turn, bump him, put your body in, and then pursue the ball.
The Hawks meet the Warriors Thursday. NT.
Just ask that fellow. Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, Penny Hardaway, Scottie Pippen. It's just another game. By the way, right after tonight's NBA game, it'll be the story of Louisiana Senator Huey P. Long, where the rise to power could only be stopped by a bullet. John Goodman stars in the TNT original Kingfish. That's tonight following the NBA on TNT. Some other scores around the NBA tonight. There are 8 other games going on in the league. Boston way out in front of Philadelphia. Miami having their way with Golden State. Atlanta trailing Cleveland at Cleveland. Atlanta plays Chicago at home in Atlanta tomorrow. San Antonio out in front of Minnesota. San Antonio, one of the top contenders in the West.
I bet you Atlanta's happy that Michael's coming tomorrow. The Omni will finally sell out. All those empty seats will finally have people sitting in them.
They sold 1,000 tickets at the good point at the Omni the day the rumors started that Michael would come back.
Well, Shaq is really struggling at the free throw line tonight. You know, what's really hurt Orlando, they are down now 4 points in this game, but offensive rebounds 5 apiece, but Chicago has 9 points, so they have converted Orlando only 1 point on second shots.
Chicago by 4. Shaquille is 2 of 6 from the line. Michael with the double clutch.
Michael thought he got fouled there, was very upset that he didn't get the call, and here comes Nick Anderson back down the floor.
Shaquille gets the loose ball, jams it in with both hands. It is a 2-point Chicago lead, 6:24 remaining in the first half. The homecoming of Michael Jordan. Michael missed his first 3, then hit 3, has now missed his last 5 shots.
So Michael does not want to have to continue to take these kind of buzzer-beating shots.
4 to shoot. Pete Myers steps in, throws up the air ball.
They're ending up with the wrong guy having it at the shot clock right now. Pete Myers had to take a couple shots.
Chance for the Magic to tie. Remember, Orlando has won 50 games already this year. They're the best in the East. Shaquille kicks it out. Nick Anderson.
Now, is this Nick Anderson's homecoming, or is this Michael Jordan's? That's 5 threes in the game. What is that, 17 points for Nick Anderson?
Exactly, and 5 of 6 from three-point land. What a game he's having, and the Magic have regained the lead by 1. Myers. It was tipped by Shaquille O'Neal, obviously on the way up. The Bulls about to put some more firepower in the bodies of Pippen and Kukoc back into this game. Speaking of firepower, Dennis Scott hands it off. Horace Grant doing what he does best.
Second shots now. I just pointed out the statistic. It was 9-1 Chicago. The last 2 possessions, Orlando has scored off second shot opportunities.
Up by 3. 5 minutes to go in the half. Kerr launches a quick one over Hardaway. Loose ball foul is going to be called on Chicago.
Loose ball foul, Torrey Blunt.
On Torrey Blunt. And now Kukoc and Pippen are back in. Blunt and Myers will sit down. So the Bulls will have Kerr, Jordan, Pippen with Kukoc and Perdue. A little more firepower as they trail by 3 with 4:56 to go in the first half.
You know, the guy who's had the terrific first quarter was B.J. Armstrong, 5 for 6 in the first quarter for 12 points, and he's been on the bench, and during that period of time, the Bulls have really gone cold.
B.J. hasn't even had a shot in this quarter. Jordan deflected that Nick Anderson pass. Hardaway. They get it over to Anderson from the corner. Jordan with the rebound. That's his 4th rebound, by the way. 3 assists to Kukoc off the break from Pippen.
So you got Michael rebounding, and he kicks it out to Scottie Pippen, who pushes it up, and Tony Kukoc finishes, and here's a steal by Michael.
Jordan's going to go all the way. Michael Jordan's restaurant. I think everybody should get one on the house after the
I was getting ready to say that.
Bulls back in front, 46-35.
Post up to Anfernee Hardaway, gets Kerr. Kerr does a nice job knocking it away, but gets called with a foul.
Michael Jordan now with 9 points. And we saw a glimpse of Air Jordan Part 2.
Well, Michael is about 3 weeks away from this being the signature slam dunk. Not quite yet to really elevate and throw it down, but gets to the front of the rim and drops it in. Again, about playoff time, that will be a slam dunk. And you know, the interesting thing there is Orlando's done a great job. Michael only has 9 points on 13 shots. Anytime you can keep his field goal efficiency below 1, and what I mean by that, where you make him take a shot for every point that he scores, you've done a good job.
Jordan has taken 13 shots, has 9 points. Magic by 1, under 4 minutes to go. First half, the homecoming at the United Center in Chicago. Pippen on the baseline drive, turns it over. Orlando with the numbers. They didn't do that very pretty.
That was not what you would draw up on the fast break. Penny Hardaway giving it to Shaquille O'Neal.
Michael Pippen, lob, jam!
You know, we're having a terrific game here tonight, Bob. A lot of times the hype does not meet the game. This is a great game.
Jordan 4 assists. Pippen 8 points. Bulls back by 1. 5 on the shot clock. Hosting Hardaway. Double team. 3. Inside to Horace Grand. Nice delivery from Anfernee Hardaway.
And recognition of how much time was on the clock so he could make the extra pass.
Kukoc bounces to Pippen. Jump hook. You know, you tend to forget about Scottie Pippen because Michael's back, and of course Pippen is just pouring them in this year anyway.
You know, and I think that's great for Scottie too. It's going to give him a chance to relax and get away from all the controversy that he's gone through this season with all the trade rumors and everything that happened.
Good interior passing by the Magic, and Orlando regains the lead, 51-50. Scottie Pippen averaging 21.9. That's nearly 22 a game. He's 10th in the league in scoring as it is.
Bob, what really hurt Chicago with this lineup is Tony Kukoc really not a rebounder, and that's his instincts aren't to go to the boards and bang. And second shots will hurt Chicago in the paint.
There's Jordan. It's blocked by Anderson, and they come away with the ball, and Michael goes to the seat of his pants. That'll bring some humility to anybody. The block on Will Perdue. Watch it. This could be a tee. He needs to be careful. 3 personals on Perdue as Michael waves him away. Timeout on the floor, Doug, as you take us through this.
Well, let's see if Will gets there. You know what? Will was there, but his arms went down. Had he kept his hands up, he would have got the call. When he brought him down, that's what the official saw.
The 3 contestants you see on the court will race around.
Let's take a look at Michael Jordan here. This is Michael Jordan Part 2 on the break. Scottie Pippen, tongue hanging out, excitement in the crowd, but you can tell that Michael's not all the way back.
Well, let me show you what he likes to do. He loves to post, and he loves to be able to create space by leaning back. See, he leans back, and he tries to create space right there. Then he uses his jumping ability in rhythm to fade and get the jump shot. Nick Anderson goes up and gets a piece of it. D. Brown did the same thing the other night in Boston, and what Michael has done right now is he's going to have to get that guy off balance as he starts to make that shot. Again, Bob, it's really phenomenal the way this guy has been able to play. I mean, I think that we just think the guy's going to run back and play basketball, and he is, and he does it at such a great level. But it's going to take him a while. I mean, there's going to be ups and downs for Michael Jordan. It's not going to be all smooth sailing.
As you saw, Will Perdue on the bench. He picked up 3 fouls, drew a technical for arguing with the referee. Anfernee Hardaway shot the technical. Now, after the foul, Donald Royal at the free throw line. And don't forget, our colleagues, our esteemed erstwhile colleagues at NBC, will have the Orlando Magic on the air at noon Eastern on Sunday versus Golden State.
I think Matt Lucas has that in his contract that he does not have to travel this weekend. Have to get on Matty for that.
Former coach of the Orlando Magic, and now the Doug Collins of NBC. Steve Kerr from the corner. Magic by 1. Under 2 minutes to go, first half. Double team on Shaq. Open man Donald Royal. Lost the handle. 4 to shoot. Jump 3, 2. Shaquille, the fadeaway on the baseline. Or was that Hakeem Olajuwon?
Well, I will tell you this. Shaquille O'Neal could not make that shot last year. He's added that to his repertoire, and he beats the clock and makes a big basket.
Orlando by 3. Pippen left alone. Stripped it away from Horace Grand, who knocked it out of bounds. No, they say off Pippen. Magic ball.
Scottie was standing out of bounds when he reached in and hit the ball from Horace Grand. So that's what the call was. It was a clean play, but Scottie was standing out of bounds when it happened. Watch where Scottie Pippen is. Right there. See where his foot is? At that point in time, he's out of bounds. So he cannot come back into play and get the ball.
When you grow up, you should be a coach or do something full-time in basketball. 55-52 Orlando. 10 on the shot clock. 7 into Shaquille. 4. There it is again. Not this time. Pippen kept it alive, knocked out of bounds by Horace Grand. 52.6 to go in the half. Orlando by 3 coming up. the Reebok halftime report. Doug and I will have a first half analysis of Jordan, plus Ernie Johnson, who's here with us in the United Center, has scored a highlight from around the league, including the Rockets Suns, another big one tonight. Coming up on the Reebok halftime report. Kukoc in trouble in the paint. Pippen left alone. Shaquille blocked it, no whistle. Kerr comes away with it. Bulls have all the numbers. Kerr, three! That's a two. He stepped on the line. That's a two. It's 55-54 Orlando.
Well, Steve Kerr's really upset at himself. Three-point shooters always know where that line is, and the worst shot in basketball is when your toes are on that line.
Time remaining in the half. The more riding your screen. Orlando up by one. They played very well among all the hoopla here at the United Center. Hardaway, magical move down the middle.
Got wings in his feet.
Orlando by 3, 4 seconds. Jordan has it stripped, has to throw up the prayer. It doesn't fall, would have been a 3. And at the end of the half, Orlando leads it by 3, 57-54. Nick Anderson, a Chicago youngster who played at Simeon High School here, 17 points, including 5 triples. And before we take our break for the Reebok halftime report, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Bob, it was a series late in the second quarter there where Michael Jordan had the rebound, the steal, and then that big assist to Scottie Pippen that drew the biggest response from the Bulls bench. I heard B.J. Armstrong talking to Ron Harper, and they said the instincts are there. Doug Collins mentioned the pregame show that in Indiana at times maybe he was reacting, had some bad decisions. As for his poor shooting there, they said that doesn't matter. He's getting the shot attempts, and they'll start falling.
All right, thank you, Craig. Michael Jordan in the first half has 4 for 15 for 9 points. Reebok halftime report after this.
Catch Inside Stuff Saturday.
When it comes
The Reebok halftime report is brought to you by Reebok.
Michael's back home, and we're halfway home at the United Center. Orlando leading Chicago 57-54. This is the Reebok halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson. Michael Jordan with 9 points in the first half, 4 out of 15 shooting. There was that one stretch late in the first quarter when he hit 3 straight buckets in about a minute and a half, but otherwise off his rhythm, 4 out of 15. The highlights of Michael Jordan's first half still to come with Bob Neal and Doug Collins. Let's take a look at the rest of the Friday night action, and let's start with Dana Barros, who is trying to get a little piece of NBA history tonight. Michael Adams has the NBA record for hitting at least one three-pointer in 43 straight games, and tonight Dana Barros was taking aim at that mark. He was sitting on 42 as the Philadelphia 76ers were playing the Boston Celtics at Boston Garden. And Barros wasted absolutely no time in this game, going right out and knocking down the first 3 that he took. I believe we have some highlights of this game to show you, but if not, Barros hit his three-pointer. Boston, however, was dominating this game in the first half. They're trying to hang on to the number 8 spot. Sherman Douglas to Dominique Wilkins, who knocked down a 3, and Boston had a 10-point lead. And right now, it is Boston and Philadelphia at the half. I'm unable to see the scores at this point, but a 92-65 lead for the Celtics as they play in the fourth period. The Atlanta Hawks are next up for Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Let's take a look at that one. And it is 71-69, the Cavs with the lead over the Hawks as they play at Gunn. That game was 37-28 at halftime. Houston and Phoenix, it is a 29-26 lead for the Rockets over the Suns. They're playing in America West. Charles Barkley, as you can see, a red-hot first quarter. Golden State and Miami, man alive. Early on, it was 26-2 Miami. Now the Heat in the fourth period with a lead of 104-93 over Golden State. Sacramento and Indiana playing at Market Square tonight, and the Pacers clinging to a 1-point lead, 95-94 over the Kings. San Antonio and Minnesota at the Target Center. It's an 82-65 lead, to no one's surprise, for the Spurs over the Timberwolves. Still to come, the Seattle Supersonics taking on the Portland Trailblazers at Memorial Coliseum, and it's the Bullets and the Lakers from the Great Western Forum. Here on TNT tonight, you're watching the Orlando Magic with a 3-point lead over the Chicago Bulls after 24 minutes. There's also college action going on tonight, as you are well aware. And Oklahoma State taking on Wake Forest in the Sweet 16, and Memphis and Arkansas playing. We'll try to update you on those games before the end of the Reebok halftime report. We'll take a break and be right back.
out.
And the Reebok halftime report continues from the United Center. Orlando with a 57-54 lead over the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan, 9 points in the first half. Let's get more on his return to Chicago and how he fared in the first 24 minutes from the guys who have been calling it for us, Bob Neal and Doug Collins. Guys.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. Michael Jordan, here's the line. We have it right here. 4 for 15 in the first half. However, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block shot, 9 points. Let's have a look at the highlights, and you give us your analysis of Michael in the homecoming.
Well, first of all, I think it's phenomenal what this man is doing after being off for 17 months. You see Michael here with the explosion, taking the ball to the basket. Again, I said he's a month away from slam dunking that ball and finishing it the way he'd like to. And then we see Michael roaming on defense here, and you see him go out and sort of stand up, and Nick Anderson goes right against his attack foot, takes the ball, hits the outside jump shot. Nick Anderson has 17, has 5 threes along with that shot, and then Michael misses the little open jump shot here. Again, shot a little bit flat, and again, that's going to come from timing, getting used to this building, tight rims, and but again, phenomenal what he's doing. He's going to have his ups and downs in shooting, but I think the fact that he's getting his shots important, and you can see here 0 for 5, 1 for 6, so 1 for 10 really from the perimeter and 3 out of 5 in the paint. But what they've done a great job doing again is 15 field goal attempts, 9 points. You keep Michael to that kind of efficiency, you got a chance to win this game.
I think something that's as interesting as anything else in this first half. First of all, Shaquille O'Neal, 14 points, 10 rebounds. He's playing big for Orlando, as is Nick Anderson. But also, B.J. Armstrong played all 12 minutes in the first quarter and did see a minute in the second quarter.
Well, it's an adjustment period that Phil's going to go through here about getting players time. He got Myers in the game. He got Steve Kerr in the game. We didn't see Ron Harper. And when B.J. was on the floor, the Bulls shot 58%. Without him, they shot 44%. Now, the Achilles heel of Chicago going into the playoffs is going to be the paint. And if you look at power forward and center for the Orlando Magic, Horace and O'Neal combined for 26 points and 15 rebounds. The Bulls starters 13 and 7.
Will Michael loosen up in the second half?
You know what? I felt he was a little tight to get started. Then I thought he had a surge and got into rhythm. Bob, I think a lot of this is the fact that he has expended a lot of energy, but his timing is not back. And I think for anybody who to think it's going to automatically be there is kidding themselves. I don't care how great he is. It's going to take him some time.
You said it best in the open. He is human. Speaking of one of my favorite humans, back to Ernie.
Yes, I am very human, as a matter of fact. And when we come back, we'll be hearing from Warren Moon and Spike Lee. Keep it right here as the Reebok halftime report rolls on.
It will be available at the United Center box office.
A 3-point game after 24 minutes as the Reebok halftime report continues. The Magic and the Bulls, Michael's return. As promised, those NCAA scores. Oklahoma State advancing with a win over Wake Forest. Meantime, the reigning champion Arkansas in trouble. Closing seconds, Memphis on top, 83-82. Michael's return to Chicago, to the United Center here at jam-packed house, 24,000 fans and 750 in standing room only. And you see our perch here in the corner. And joining us now, you met him before the game, Warren Moon, the newest member of our Turner Sports staff, and Spike Lee. I'm a big fan of all the stuff you've done, Spike, and I'm glad to have you here. And I know you probably, what are you doing, scouting for Pat tonight, saying what's Michael looking like?
Look kind of rusty tonight, but he's going to be ready by the time playoffs come, and I think that's what all the players in the NBA fear, a right Michael in the playoffs.
Take it away, Mr. Moon. Well, Spike, you've been a great friend of Michael's for a long time and a big Bulls fan. What do you think of this whole comeback attempt?
Michael Jordan fan, not a Bulls fan.
Well, what do you think of this comeback attempt of Michael and how he's played so far in this first half tonight?
I think he's shooting 4 for 15, and the shots are open. They're just not dropping. The same thing that happened against Indianapolis the first came back. But I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to regain the form that made him the greatest player to probably ever play this game.
Well, you got a dilemma come Tuesday night on TNT. The Bulls play the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. You're a big Michael fan, a big Knicks fan. Who are you going to be rooting for?
Knicks, always, always.
All right, Ward, you are learning the finer points of broadcasting at a very early age here. You're throwing that promo in right away for Tuesday night. The Bulls taking on the Knicks. Spike, thanks a lot for stopping by. Good luck to you. I have a feeling we'll see this guy on Tuesday night. halfway home at the United Center. Chicago with Michael Jordan back, scoring 9 points, down by 3 to the Magic. Third quarter coming right up.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok.
Why do I think the Whopper?
Orlando by 3. Michael Jordan with 9 in the first half. Let's go to Nicole Watson.
Well, Bob, while there's so much talk about Michael Jordan coming back, it's a homecoming of sorts for Nick Anderson as well. Again, he is also a Chicago native, and tonight he's requested 30 tickets for his family and friends. Now, Nick has rewarded them with 17 points and one hellacious block on MJ.
Thanks, Nicole. There's Nick Anderson, Simeon High School here in Chicago, University of Illinois. There's the game summary. You see him, 17 points, 5 3-pointers for Nick Anderson. Jordan 9, only 4 of 15. And we are underway with the second half. Bulls down by 3.
B.J. Armstrong back in the lineup after sitting out the entire second quarter. Let's see if he maintains the hot hand. 5 for 6 in the first period.
Be tough to do that. Kukoc. Long range. See, a 2, and it's a 1-point Orlando lead.
See, Bob, it's going to be very difficult for Phil as he tries to get all these guys minutes and at the same time tries to get minutes, Michael heavy minutes, so that he can get him back in shape. It's going to be a juggling act right now for him and his staff.
Michael had very heavy minutes in the first half. 22. Shaquille's jump hook goes down.
See, he's really added a tremendous weapon to his game. He's got the jump hook, the fadeaway jumper. We know about the slam dunks. Everybody wants to point to is his poor free throw shooting.
O'Neal 7 of 12 from the floor, 16 points, 10, make it 11 rebounds, and very quietly, Shaquille O'Neal, I never thought I'd say that, is having a big game. Hardaway dumps it, no look, and a tremendous defensive play by Scottie Pippen. Did that ball hit the iron? They gave him a new shot clock. Now they got another one. Donnie Royal has it stripped.
Loose ball going to the Magic right now. Beautiful backdoor cut, Anfernee Hardaway.
And how about Anderson finding him through the crowd?
Well, it's funny because at halftime I told Anfernee Hardaway that Memphis was beating Arkansas in the last seconds until Brooks Thompson that Wake Forest lost to Oklahoma State. He got the biggest smile on his face.
Michael Jordan with the double clutch just through the bottom of the iron. He was a little tentative about having that thrown back in his face again.
I think that's a good call. And here's Horace Grand. Here's Michael.
With a block. Anderson sticks it in from 15. That's 2 block shots for Michael in this game. To go with 2 steals, by the way, and 5 assists and 4 rebounds. And this is the Orlando biggest lead of the game, 63 to 56. Kukoc.
Quick shots again. They're not working the offense.
Don't even see the triangle. Down to Shaquille. 3 moves stripped away nicely. Bulls come back. Michael handling. Bulls have numbers.
B.J. for 3. This is what he did in the first quarter. Boom.
He still got the rhythm. Michael knew it, found him, and hit it. Remember, B.J. Armstrong did not play 1 single minute in the second quarter.
Well, that's what John Paxson and B.J. have always done with Michael Jordan. Run to the open spot, get space on the floor, and he will find you.
Michael went for the steal. Nick Anderson takes it to the hoop, run down by Scottie Pippen. Pippen on the run now, defended by his old teammate Horace Grand. B.J. Armstrong on the penetration. 5 points in 30 seconds for B.J. Armstrong. Yes, he is still hot. 63-61. The Orlando lead cut to 2. Armstrong with 17.
And he's shooting 7 for 8 from the floor. 3 for 3 from the three-point line.
That was Penny's lob to Shaquille. Somebody got a piece of it. Horace Grant fouls Michael as the Bulls had a 3-on-1 break.
Well, that was a great foul by Horace to have the presence of mind to foul to take away that easy 2 points. B.J. would have been on the receiving end of another layup.
Chance for the Bulls to tie. They were down 63-56 and scored 5 straight points thanks to B.J. Armstrong.
You can see the defense just trying to keep Michael in front of him. B.J. once again, this shot was forced.
He had to put that way over the head of Penny Hardaway. That's the arc took it too far. Here is Penny.
But Orlando's sort of building the wall there in the lane on Michael and said, look, we'll give you the over-the-top jumper. You're not going to get all the way to the hoop on us.
Shaquille, nice move inside. Horace Grant steals the offensive board from Michael Jordan, but The foul is called on Horace Grand. Loose ball, Chicago ball, a chance to tie. That's the second on Horace Grand.
Yeah, but if you're Brian Hill, you're very happy because look right now, Horace Grant right there goes up strong. But here's the foul right here. He pushes off right there with the off arm against Will Perdue. That's the offensive foul. But the problem you worry about is those second shot opportunities. The Magic started cashing in on the second quarter.
Chance for the Bulls tie. Lobbed inside to Michael Jordan. Pass too late. Tipped away. Orlando back. Anderson to Hardaway. He'll hold it up and set it up.
That was a very lazy pass by Tony Kukoc. Here's Nick Anderson. He's been open all night long.
Horace Grant. O'Neal, 8 to shoot. Make it 5.
Look at this.
Sweet move, rolls out of there. Pippen steals the rebound from Shaquille. Chance for the Bulls to tie once again. Jordan, left hand, it's tied! And the foul.
Horace Grant has committed 3 fouls in about the last minute and a half. Scottie Pippen with a great hustle play. He gets the ball ahead to Michael Jordan, and Michael, for the first time in the entire game, in the half-court game, gets all the way to the rim, gets the layup, and the three-point opportunity, which he cashes in on.
Michael now with 12 points in the game. An 8-0 Chicago run, thanks to B.J. Armstrong and Michael Jordan, and the Bulls regain the lead, 64-63, 7:34 to go in the third. Double team on Shaquille, Perdue and Kukoc. Open man, Donald Royal, Horace Grant. Extra pass, 5 to shoot, Hardaway.
Look at this, look at this. Oh my goodness, Anfernee Hardaway, show us your entire repertoire.
Dare I say, like Michael Jordan was in his younger days.
Well, I mean, he is a tremendous player.
Orlando by 1. Kukoc on the post against Horace Grant. This will be tough.
Well, Horace got to be very careful not to get his fourth. Again, he's picked up 3 in about a 2-minute period of time right now. Michael jumps in and draws the foul.
Here's the magic of Hardaway. No pun intended. Well, yeah, actually it was intended.
Look at the crossover dribble a la Timmy Hardaway. And look at the big finish at the basket. And you know what? He's doing this against the premier defensive forward in basketball, Scottie Pippen.
Timeout, Chicago. Welcome to the Air and Space Museum. Thanks to Michael Jordan. April 20th, 1986. Boston Gardens, Game 2. Michael Jordan, 63 points.
Well, you know, Spike Lee was talking at halftime about what the NBA is worried about. And this is what they're worried about. Michael having these kind of legs after playing only 18 games with injury. And he came back strong for the playoffs. Unfortunately, at that point in time, the Bulls not strong enough to be able to knock out the Celtics, but Michael was a nightmare as everybody else was tired. Can that happen once again? Can he retain his legs over the last 15 games?
You and I were there to televise that game at Cleveland, the 69 points. That came after a piece in the newspaper where Lenny Wilkins, then coaching Cleveland, said, I'm going to stay with my defensive plan. I'll just have Elo play Jordan 1-on-1 and let him get his points.
Well, let me tell you something. If I'm Craig Elo, I got 3 quick fouls, and I'm like watching that performance.
Craig Elo back off the injured list in Atlanta. He'll be trying to defend Michael tomorrow night as the Bulls head straight to Atlanta after this game. Bulls by 1.
Now, it's important if the Bulls extend their defense, Bob, that you attack the basket. Don't let them extend and get you back in a half-court game. Now the clock is winding down against you, and they force you to take a tough shot, but they never got into their offense.
Good defensive play by Kukoc, who hands it to Jordan. Missed the finger roll once again. That would have been a jam with the steal. Jordan, glass, missed everything.
See, Michael's just out of sync on his finish right now, and then he tried to shoot the shot off the glass. Look at this finish by Donald Royal. Now, that's what Michael wanted to do the last time down the floor. Just couldn't get all the way to the basket with it.
You can see that the legs aren't there yet. We've pointed it out time after time. But you can also see the charisma when he touches the ball. That hasn't left.
Oh, the people, you know, you just hear him oohing and ahhing, waiting to see what's going to happen.
Perdue with a left-handed jump hook attempt. It's blocked by Shaquille O'Neal. Magic by 1.
I want to tell you, Bob, if the Magic could win this game tonight, this would be a tremendous boost for them, especially the fact that they have struggled so much on the road. And with all the hype surrounding this game,
Anderson misses in the face of Jordan. Now the Bulls on the run. They have the numbers. B.J. fakes the three. On the drive, gets the foul. Down Arroyo.
Orlando, personal foul.
Anfernee Hardaway picks up the loose ball. He throws ahead to Donald Royal. This guy has one thing on his mind. I'm getting all the way to the basket. Will Perdue has got his ground held there, but his head was under the rim. That's a good no call. You know, Bob, in the NBA, your head is under the rim, and you try to go up to deflect the shot. If your hand would get into the cylinder, that's a no call.
B.J. Armstrong at the line. He has 17, make it 18, and that's without playing 1 second in the second quarter. Our GMC truck scoreboard, Miami getting the win, as does Cleveland by a point. Again, Atlanta, the Bulls' opponent tomorrow night. Indiana beating Sacramento. Sacramento in a battle for a playoff spot with Denver for the 8th spot in the West, and San Antonio easily over Minnesota.
San Antonio is continuing to play well even without Dennis Rodman. They've won 3 big ball games in a row.
5:24 to go, third quarter. Shaquille with 6. Nice pass inside Donald Royal. He's fouled.
See, Shaquille's doing a much better job passing out of the double teams. And Bob, we've seen him now 3 times this week on Turner. Shaq is having great patience. He's catching the ball. He's feeling the defense. He's throwing the ball outside, and then they're throwing the ball right back into him once again and letting him attack. That's having confidence that the big man can make the right decisions against the clock.
That was the second personal foul, by the way, on Michael Jordan, who is, as he stands out here at half court watching Donald Royal shoot the free throws, if you loosen up a little bit, you'll see that he's holding those shorts in the patented "I'm tired, I'm breathing hard." Remember, he played 22 minutes in the first half.
You know what would be great is if Michael, we had remember that show, Look Who's Talking or whatever, where the guy is talking about what he's feeling and you're hearing everything he's feeling, that movie or the little baby or whatever. It'd be interesting to see Michael, what he's thinking right now and hear what's going on in his head. I think that would be intriguing.
You're complex, you're deep.
Oh, it is. I think it would be interesting to find out what he's thinking right now.
5 on the shot clock. Michael driving fouled with 3 left. Let's see who got him. Remember, Horace Grand came in and picked up some quick fouls. This one's going to be on Shaquille O'Neal, his second. Shaquille sits down.
See, Michael's always thinking of a way that I can get the best of you. Now he's looking to drive more rather than settle for that outside jump shot. So when your shot's not going, get to the free throw line. Michael's just not comfortable. And we were talking to some people here who watched him shoot around today, and as he was talking, all he kept talking about, I'm not comfortable in here. I don't like shooting in this building. The rims are too tight.
He said it in the paper a couple of days ago, too. I don't like the United Center yet. I love Chicago Stadium, and it's ironic. Michael built the United Center. The steal, Jordan! Look out! He's back. Three steals for Jordan in the game. Bulls by 3. Hardaway ties it.
See, that's a big time play. Michael gets a dunk. That's a crowd silencer on the road. You come back and hit him with a 3.
Jordan on the drive. No look, Longley. 2 hops, they let him get away with it. And the lay-in. And the Bulls by 2. 4:07 to go, third quarter. Oh, that jam by Michael off the steal. We'll show it to you in a minute. It has the look of the statue outside. Anderson misses from 3. He's now 5 of 7 from that area. Hardaway from the corner, no. Tree Rollins with the rebound. Michael knocks it out of bounds.
See Michael's eyes. He's reading the pass. He gets his hand out in the passing lane. Great steal. And he takes off, and it looked like his legs started to give out on him a little bit. It looked like he didn't quite get up the way he wanted to there. He was. What's his left leg? What's his left leg as he starts to dunk the basketball? It's like he wasn't going to do what he wanted it to do right there.
Well, you know, just for a moment he had a flashback of catching a fly ball off the wall. It's a different kind of jump.
I would have killed to have that kind of explosion right there with my leg not going out. One of those, I would have been thrilled in my career.
All I can say to Michael is 202. Wasn't that his batting average?
Pippen's second foul there. Myers in for Kukoc. And by the way, we will follow the air show into Madison Square Garden on TNT. 8 o'clock Eastern time. Bulls, Knicks. Last time Michael played there was in the playoffs in '93.
And right now, if the season ended today, that would be our first round matchup in a best-of-5 with New York having the home court. Cleveland gets a big win tonight. Bulls trying to catch them for the 4th position. Nick Anderson misses 2 free throws. No one blocks him out.
And he got his offensive rebound.
Let's see if Orlando can cash in on it.
Hardaway defended by B.J. Armstrong. Brian Shaw finds the open man. It's Anderson, but not for long. Myers had the steal, stepped out of bounds.
That's what Pete Myers gives the team. Activity, defense. Knocks the ball away from Nick Anderson and the loose ball foul against Nick Anderson. So Pete Myers will be going to the free throw line as they're over the penalty.
Bulls up by 2, 73-71. The Bulls have committed only 2 team fouls. Michael is now going to get a rest. Well, no, he's not. He's going over to the bench to talk to the coach. I think Phil's probably saying, aren't you tired?
Michael would never admit it if he was, right? He has such tremendous pride. He's going to tell you, I feel great. And as a coach, you have to say, look, I've got to give you some rest, Michael. I would look to see Phil, maybe within the next minute and a half, get Michael out, let him get the rest of the quarter off, maybe a minute or so into the 4th, which would maybe make him miss 4 minutes of actual action to give him about a 15-minute rest so he can finish this game.
Bulls by 3, 3:28 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jordan's tired. You can see it, that he's struggling. Laboring might be a better word.
Well, when you start pulling down on your shorts, that's the first sign of it.
I pulled down on my golf shorts. Horace Grand with 4 to shoot.
Look at this.
Ryan Shaw from downtown Longley with the rebound.
Well, Bulls defense is picked up right now, forcing some tough shots by the Magic.
Bulls by 3. Pippen thought about the 3. 10 to shoot.
Where was Scottie throwing?
Scottie Pippen throws it out of bounds. We have a timeout on the floor. 2:53 to go in the 3rd.
1, 2, 3.
The Bulls with a 3-point lead, 74-71. You're taking a look at the Bulls brothers. Take off on the Aykroyd and Belushi Blues brothers from Saturday Night Live. Those are the sentiments of people in Chicago. We're the luckiest people in the world. Michael Jordan on the bench right now with 15 points. And Doug, you pointed out, and we've talked about it, he had 22 minutes in the first half. Gets a little bit of a rest here at this timeout with 2:53 to go. Is he going to be able to play another full quarter?
He'll be able to do it, and I think Phil will be able to use this timeout and maybe get him out here a little bit before the quarter's over to give him a chance to get some rest so he can finish this game, because they're going to look for Michael to carry this team down the stretch. Regardless of who all's been here the rest of the year or whatever, they're always going to defer to Michael at the end of the game because he demands that. I mean, even just his presence. He might not say it, but it just happens.
Somebody on TV today said it's like Beethoven coming back to write symphonies number 10 and 11. Hardaway.
What you're seeing right now is the Bulls are really picking up their defense, and they've really gotten Orlando out of sync offensively. Forced some very difficult shots. Penny Hardaway upset.
Luke Longley was the man in the middle. No foul call. Pippen, short jumper. It'll go down, and the Bulls lead by 5. And, oh, by the way, Scottie Pippen has 12 points.
So look at the lineup. Scottie Pippen's the power forward right now. He's the power forward. Michael's the small forward. You've got Pete Myers, B.J. So you've really got like 4 guards on the floor.
So they go inside to Horace Grand. And look at that. B.J. Armstrong with a jump ball. Which may not be all that much good news, but nevertheless, he tied up Horace Grand.
It's good play by B.J. to get his arms in this. Horace brings the ball down, and when you bring it down, you bring the little guys into the game. Got to keep that ball up. Now, the one thing Horace has got to find out where he wants to tip this ball. You should tip this ball right back to Shaquille O'Neal. Just tip it high right to Shaquille and let him go get it. Otherwise, Pippen will steal it.
He didn't. Pippen did, but hold it. They're going to...
That's a loose ball foul on B.J. Armstrong.
B.J.
He jumped into him, and Mike Mathis caught it. Watch B.J. Armstrong now jump into Horace Grant.
That's the second on B.J.
A little bit of a touch foul there on B.J.
Third team foul on the Bulls. Orlando already over the limit.
Orlando's got to be very careful here. They had a 7-point lead. They're now down 5, and their offense has really gotten out of sync.
Scott driving past Jordan. Loose ball. Grant missed it. Shaquille is fouled by Longley as he goes for the jam. Shaquille goes down. He's all up.
It's what Shaquille's going to see, though, in the playoffs. There's not going to be any dunks. You're going to foul him. He leads the NBA in free throw attempts. He's attempted over 700 free throws on the year. It's a very hard foul on Shaquille O'Neal as he misses the dunk. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
He's 2 for 6 so far. Hits that with 17 points, 13 rebounds for Shaquille. You see there, he shoots 66% of all the free throws. The Magic Cupid hits only 56% of them.
Well, you know, I just went through some of Shaquille's statistics today. He's #1 in scoring, #2 in field goal percentage, #4 in rebounds, #6 in blocks, and #1 in free throw attempts. And his team has the best record in the NBA. I would think that he's a strong candidate for the most valuable player this year.
Steve Kerr is in for Michael Jordan. It's interesting. With 1:46 to go in the quarter, as you predicted, Doug, this will give Michael some rest and maybe a little bit of rest even going into the fourth quarter. 8 to shoot. Kerr now with 5. B.J. a long way from the hoop. 3, 2. He gets in there closely. Tried to reverse. Oh, draws the foul. Was he bailed out?
What a bail. You called it, Bob. B.J. was hung out in the air. No place to go.
And that's 4 on Horace Grand.
And he picks them all up in this quarter. B.J. was hung in the air, had no place to go. Clock winding down. He's going to try a reverse layup. And look right there at the last moment. Horace Grand comes across his right arm and draws the foul.
And it's money in the bank. B.J. Armstrong, an 87% free throw shooter, one of the best in the NBA. Horace has played hard here tonight. By the way, last night, Orlando played and beat Charlotte in Charlotte, and Orlando had 50% of their 104 points scored. 50% of those points scored by Shaquille O'Neal and Horace Grand. They pounded it inside.
Well, they're doing a good job of it tonight, too, but the Bulls have been very quick with their defense and rotating out of their double teams. And Nick Anderson has gone cold in this third quarter after they got the lead. He missed some open shots, also missed some free throws.
21 points for B.J. Armstrong. Bulls by 5. 1:20 to go in the quarter. Anfernee Hardaway left alone. He won't miss that one.
He's sort of an energizer for this team. He's a guy, you put him in the game, he's an excellent defender. He will up the tempo of the ball game.
Armstrong, 10 on the shot clock.
Luke against Dennis Scott. Here comes the double team by Shaquille.
Waited too long inside to Pete Myers. It was blocked. Myers missed it again. Loose ball. Brian Shaw. Under a minute to go. Magic with a chance to pull to within 1 or tie. Shaw drives, takes the layup. Dennis Scott had posted for the 3. The Bulls very wisely. Steve Kerr stayed with him and denied that 3.
Yeah, you don't want to let him get that 3. He's not had a field goal yet tonight, so keep him off the books. Don't let him get hot.
Kukoc at 6'10". Count the basket. Goaltending Shaquille. Kukoc could have his way with Brian Shaw and his height advantage. Bulls by 3.
Shaquille comes over, gets there just a little bit too late. And once the ball has been released and out of a player's hands this long, most every time you're going to get a goaltend.
Orlando down 3. Bulls playing some good defense.
Now, Brian Shaw picked up his dribble. He should never have picked it up. Now they're trying to deny everyone else the ball.
They'll go to Shaq. Kukoc kept it alive. Myers, nice pass. 2-on-1, 4 seconds. Kerr, Kukoc should have taken the shot. Armstrong doesn't get it. Kerr should have taken it.
Yeah, Steve should have taken it. He's the second best three-point shooter in the game. He's a little bit too unselfish on this play. And then B.J. rims out a 2 just as the shot clock goes off the end of the third quarter.
12 minutes remaining in the homecoming.
All right, gentlemen, let's have
a beautiful night. The skyline off Lake Michigan, the Windy City, Chicago. And Michael Jordan has even brought an early return of spring to Chicago. At least he'll get credit for it. Bulls by 3. We were talking earlier about the Eastern Conference. Orlando the best team, and this is how they'd match up if they started today.
Well, we got some interesting matchups. We'd have this one is the real one that everybody want to see, and then you'd have these two, Charlotte and Cleveland, and Orlando and Milwaukee, and Atlanta and Indiana. So some early round matchups in the first round, and in the best of 5, anything can happen. That's not to oversimplify anything. Bob, let's talk about statistics. The Bulls have been able to take the lead in this game with points off turnovers. They have 22 points off 14 Orlando turnovers. Orlando only 1 point off 6 Chicago turnovers. Orlando winning the battle of the boards 37-26.
Into Shaquille, loose ball. Scottie Pippen gets it. 4-on-3 Bulls. Pippen, Kerr, Pippen. Bad pass, intercepted by Dennis Scott. By the way, for the first time in this game, and for a rare appearance since Michael returned, Ron Harper is on the floor with Michael Jordan. Harper running at Scott.
Well, they've got
a piece of that.
They've done a nice job, Bob, of chasing Dennis Scott off the catch and shoot. They forced him to put it on the floor, and he does not have any rhythm yet at all with his jump shot. Nick Anderson went cold in that third quarter after 6 for 9 first half. 1 for 5 field goals in that third quarter, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. They need him to get hot here in this fourth period also.
And as you had pointed out, Arkansas went into overtime with Memphis, but Arkansas gets the victory. Michael loses the ball. Brian Shaw misses. Longley rebounds. By the way, Longley was just called for committing his 4th foul. Bulls lead by 3, make it 5.
How about Arkansas, Bob? They win their first game in the tournament by 1. They win their next game on a technical foul against Syracuse in overtime. They win tonight in OT. Tough to knock out the defending champ.
10 on the shot clock. Bulls clamping down some defense. This time Hardaway finds the room in the lane, just as I say that, and lays it in from short range. It's Bulls by 3.
See, the Bulls don't have a shot blocker, so Orlando knows they can take the ball right to the front of the rim without any contesting from anybody to block their shot. Bulls play great position defense, second league in steals.
Michael spinning, whirling, dishing. Pippen foul by Shaquille.
Now that was the magic of Michael Jordan there. 2 pirouettes, hanging in the air, finding Scottie Pippen. This is just unbelievable instincts. Watch Michael take the ball, the pirouette, goes up in the air, gets Shaq to leave his feet and finds Scottie Pippen, and then Shaq has to give the hard foul.
Shaquille's 3rd personal, by the way. And that's what you pointed out earlier, Doug, that the Bulls have to get used to Michael making that kind of move, double clutching, maybe shooting, maybe passing.
I played with a guy like that named Julius Erving, yes, and you always had your hands in the ready position.
Or else you get a facial.
A facial.
83-79, Bulls by 4, 10-17 to go in the ball game. Inside to Shaq.
Oh, he missed an easy one.
Got his own board and back in. Shaquille O'Neal has 20 points.
That's a page from the book of Moses Malone. Miss an easy one, get it back, stick it in. You get an opportunity for the free throw, so you get a basket, an offensive rebound, and a free throw.
And Shaquille goes to the line, and Longley now has 5 personal fouls. And Bill Wennington, part of the 3-headed center system for the Bulls, comes in for his first action tonight.
Shaquille O'Neal shoots 1.
O'Neal to the free throw line. 15 boards to go with his 20 tonight.
Now look for the Bulls with Bill Wennington on the floor to use him as a jump shooter against Shaquille. He poses a different problem.
Look out! Michael gets the loose ball still in the paint. He'll start it all over again. 15 on the shot clock. 8 on the shot clock.
What's an interesting group of guys that Phil has on the floor right now. Harper, Kerr, Michael, Scottie, and Bill Wennington. We're going to see some scrambled lineups over the next few weeks.
Well, there's the lob to Shaquille. Too high. He missed it. 2-point Bulls lead. Pippen. 4-3.
Scottie's really shot that shot a lot this year. That closer three-point line in transition. That's Scottie's attempted coming into tonight's game 272 three-point field goals.
Well, he's had to provide so much of the scoring front. Shaquille against Wennington. There's the double team with Harper. Back to Shaquille. Back Wennington is. Jumper won't fall. Rebound Wennington.
They do a good job. Keep Shaq in front of you. Make him shoot the ball over the top and not foul.
Pippen to Harper. He lost it out of bounds, but Chicago will have the ball with 17 on the shot clock. Bulls struggling with this very unusual lineup.
This group probably has never seen each other before, whether in a practice or game. And so right now they are really scrambled because in that triangle offense, everybody's got a position, and they're talking to each other as they walk off the floor,
introducing themselves.
Bulls versus Knicks. Tuesday night at 8 on TNT.
It's time for Dutch Boy in the paint, and I find something very unusual, and that is that the Bulls have dominated points in the paint 40 to 28.
Well, I'll tell you what it tells me. Off those 18 rebounds in the offensive end, they're not converting. You get 18 offensive rebounds, you should have more than 28 points in the paint. And so the Bulls have been able to be more efficient in that area.
20 points for Shaquille, only 6 for Grant, and that's that inside game. You see, we told you earlier that Penny Hardaway dislocated his finger last night in the warm-up before the Orlando game, the Orlando-Charlotte game, and he was playing with a sore left hand, and he apparently is suffering some pain now as you see him with the ice on it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he comes back tonight. The game is a winnable game right now. Brian Hill probably have a big decision to make.
Pippen, nice move inside, had to dish it to Wennington, who has that shot.
See, when Shaquille O'Neal tracks the shooters, Wennington's going to spot up, and as Shaquille sits out right now, whoever's matched up against Wennington, Horace Grand, can't leave him and give him that kind of open look.
Sounds like a singing group. Bill Wennington and the 4 guards.
There's Nick Anderson again, 1 for 5 this half.
Pippen got a piece of that. Big rebound from Ron Harper.
This is a speed lineup Chicago has on the floor. They should try to push the tempo of this game. Maybe get Kerr some open looks in the half court.
Pippen. Wennington is open, has that shot again. Misses it this time. Rebound. Dennis Scott. Bulls by 4. 8-11 remaining.
Well, Bill's really upset at himself. That's a shot he normally buries a lot. Now, oh, look out here if he makes that shot.
Yeah, he can get hot, Dennis Scott, from three-point land. Shot clock. Anfernee Hardaway handling the ball. Hardaway on the bench. Nice lob to Nick Anderson.
A nice play there. Eye contact. Bowie. Nick Anderson rolled off the fronting post move of Ron Harper and just laid the ball right in the basket.
We're checking on Anfernee Hardaway, by the way. We'll give you an update in a couple of minutes on his injured left hand. Bulls by 2. Rebound. Wennington jams it home. Bulls by 4.
Fundamentals of basketball. You've got to check out. And Horace, a very good rebounder, did not get his body into Bill Wennington. Off the bench, he has 4 quick points.
Horace Grand only 6 points in this game tonight. Scott missed again from long range. Jordan knocking it out of bounds. No, it's Orlando out of bounds. Chicago ball.
Bob, Dennis Scott is very, very upset. He's 0 for 5 on the night. And what he is, with him missing, he allows the Bulls to take great chances on the defensive end.
Steve Kerr into Jordan. Back out to Wennington. He's 1 for 3 now. He's supposed to hit that jump shot. We gave him some great pub.
We're going to call him the Gatling gun here pretty soon. That's 4 shots in about a minute for Bill.
That ball was thrown away by Anthony Bowie.
Chicago ball.
Let's go to now to Nicole Watson and find out about Penny Hardaway. Nicole?
Well, Bob, after sleeping with a splint last night and icing it during the pregame as well as halftime, Penny Hardaway has not been able to ice his finger down even during the timeouts. He just hasn't had enough time. Right now, he's not tired. It doesn't really hurt. He's just finally got enough time to ice the finger, but he is squeezing it and favoring that hand.
Michael Jordan misses the jumper. Kerr knocks it out of bounds, and we can see, Nicole, thank you for that report, as we saw the camera shot of Penny Hardaway. He had the ice off, was putting the wrap back on his fingers, and looks like he may be ready to come back in the game shortly. Brian Shaw hits the 3, and we have a 1-point game. Orlando won't go away.
Now remember, I think 2 years ago, Brian Shaw had the reigning NBA record for threes in a game, 10, and that was the old three-point line, so he has that kind of range.
Illegal defense to call.
I think a game against Milwaukee when he was playing for the Miami Heat, he had 10 three-point field goals.
That's the second illegal defense. Technical foul. Steve Kerr will shoot it. Kerr, an 80% free throw shooter. And it'll be Bulls ball, up by 2, 6:07 in the game. In case you're dialing in late, number 45 is a former baseball player just signed by the Bulls after the strike, Michael Jordan. Steve Kerr misses. Pippen with a rebound.
Well, right now, the Magic getting taken advantage of inside. We talked about the points in the paint. And although that Orlando has the size and the scoring in there, once again, the Bulls have been much more efficient in their opportunities.
Timeout, Orlando. The Air and Space Museum, courtesy Michael Jordan, May 7, 1989. A young Chicago Bulls coach appreciated that shot.
Well, that was just a great play that I drew up there. Michael was wide open. That was a great moment. I'll always cherish that. When we beat the Cavaliers, they had beaten us 6 straight times that season, and then Michael follows it up. But we were 0-6 that year and went in there and knocked them out in the playoffs in Game 5. And Bob, just to follow that up, I remember going on the plane over to Cleveland on that Saturday. It was the Kentucky Derby, and Silent Sunday won the Derby. And I said, that's what it's going to be tomorrow in Cleveland when we beat them. And sure enough, Michael made it happen.
I remember something he told you as you look at the game summary, something he told you on your first game. Late in the game when it was close, he said, don't worry, Doug, I won't let you lose your first game. Did he not say that?
Oh, I was feverishly drawing up this play, sweating, chewing my gum. He gave me a cup of water, told me to take a drink. He wouldn't let me use my first game, and he didn't. He had 50 points.
Brian Shaw inbounding for Orlando. Bulls by 4, 5:53 remaining in the game. Each team with 3 full timeouts and a 20.
Hardaway back in. We got the starters other than Brian Shaw.
Shaquille inside. Follow up by Horace Grand. You talked as we went away to the timeout about Orlando not taking advantage of the inside game.
We've got to do that. And right now, Tony Kukoc has got to keep Horace Grand off the offensive backboard.
And that's tough.
He's got to put his body in it and get into him and say, I'm not going to let you get there.
Michael dishing. Luke Longley kicks it out. Kukoc. Loose ball. It's hit the top of the backboard. It'll be a violation and Orlando ball.
You know, one of the things I've seen with the Bulls that Michael has come back, Tony Kukoc has become a spot-up shooter rather than a guy that creates a lot, and he's not at his best when he's a spot-up shooter. He's a creator. Tony, at best, an erratic shooter.
Exactly.
Or should I say streaky? Maybe not erratic, but streaky.
A little erratic. Chance for the Magic to top. Remember, all conference, Illinois State, English, Doug Collins, Brian Shaw, 4-3.
See, when he hits those threes, remember Dennis Scott was missing those shots? Well, now you've seen Brian Shaw drill 2 of them. That changes the whole focus of your double teams.
8 points for Brian, 2 for 2 on threes, and the Magic with the lead. 4:48. Michael Jordan double clutching, throws it away. Hardaway. It's a 93-90 Orlando lead. Chicago with a timeout. I guarantee you Michael Jordan is a tired camper.
Well, Michael's very upset. He tried to get the ball to B.J. Armstrong. The ball was tipped. Nick Anderson picks it off. And there's Anfernee Hardaway once again on the finish. The Magic lead by 3.
With the Bulls down 3 during the timeout, Krystkowiak gets 2 technicals. Larry Krystkowiak had not played at all, and Derek Stafford called him. Craig Sager, what happened?
Well, it's that play where the ball hit the top of the backboard. The Bulls thought the ball should have remained in play. Derek Stafford said it did not. Larry Krystkowiak questioned him about the play. Derek Stafford said, who made you coach? And he said, hey, can't I do anything? And he said he gave him a technical. Then he argued and gave him a technical, and he's out of the ball game. So all he did was question the call, and Derek Stafford said, who made you coach?
There's our pit bull, Craig Sager. He always has the answer for us. And 2 technical free throws are hit by Anfernee Hardaway. And with 4:39 left, Doug, The Bulls find themselves down to Orlando by 5.
Bob, have you noticed we've had spurts in this game? 8-0 spurt by the Bulls. Now it's 9-0 spurt by Orlando. It's been back and forth. Who's going to execute now as we enter this critical crunch time?
See if Michael has anything left. On the drive, he's fouled. Here's what Krzysztofiak was refereeing from his seat on the bench. The ball bounces up on the top of the rim, according to the officials. Top of the backboard. And it did.
Michael Jordan at the line.
See, now Michael did a smart thing there, okay? You talk about a guy being a smart player. You come out of a timeout, it's emotional. You drive to the basket, and you get the foul. And that's what Michael did.
Returns to the lineup for the Bulls.
Michael missed that first free throw. He's struggling tonight, tired. You see him one game at a time. Struggled against the Pacers. Came on fire, particularly at the opening versus the Celtics. Struggling again tonight. 18 points for Michael Jordan, and he's played almost the entire ball game. Orlando by 4.
You got to attack here. You got to attack. Make them pay for the press, and Penny misses an easy one. The Bulls extending their defense. They forced turnovers and got in the open court.
Michael one-on-one. Pull up.
Michael can't pick that up.
Nobody was there to get the pass. That's adjusting to Michael. Hardaway, Grant with a jam. 97-91, Orlando by 6.
Michael very upset. You know, Michael is the all-time great escape artist. When he gets hung in the air tonight, we've seen him get caught with the basketball 2 or 3 times.
You see the Bulls out of sync, struggling here, playing tight.
We knew this was going to happen. There's going to be an adjustment period.
Shaquille with the block on Luke Longley. And Orlando by 6.
It's a big possession right here. Orlando really,
Shaquille is fouled by Luke Longley, and that'll foul him out of the game.
The Bulls' personal foul. Luke Longley is 6.
Hardaway was assessing the situation. You saw him. He looked back. He saw Horace Grand drop the ball off. Horace Grand has quietly had a terrific game. Remember now, first time in here, 32 minutes, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Tonight, Horace has been very active, emotions under control, played a very smart basketball game.
6-point Orlando lead. Longley fouls out. Whittington is in. Jordan defending Brian Shaw. Shaw gets past Jordan, but runs into the double team. Steal Jordan. Behind the back, 3-on-1. Armstrong with a lay-in. Thanks to Jordan's 4th steal in this game.
Again, those turnovers really tell you the Bulls, if they win this game, the one statistic will be turnovers and points off turnovers. 24 points tonight of Orlando's 18 turnovers.
Shaquille O'Neal makes it 99-93.
And Bob, at what point in time do you start fouling him there and making him make free throws?
How about now? Shaquille O'Neal has 22. Corey Blunt in the ball game. Michael penetrating, double clutch, draws the foul. Brian Shaw.
See, Michael still has the great ability to get to the free throw line. I mean, he's not been able to hit the shot tonight. 6 for 21.
And how much we've seen this, by the way, late in ball games during the Jordan era. Bulls get the other team into the team foul situation. Michael operates one-on-one and goes to the line. Right now, Orlando with 3 team fouls. We'll follow Michael Jordan and company. Boy, is he struggling at the line tonight. Into Madison Square Garden Tuesday night at 8 Eastern time. It'll be Jordan and the Bulls versus the Knicks. And by the way, remind you that on Sunday, NBC will have the same Orlando Magic against Golden State at noon Eastern time.
Michael 6 for the line, 6 for 11 from the line tonight. In the first 2 games of the season, he was 13 for 14. I've noticed he's been sort of fading back on his free throw, not staying on the line, getting that good follow-through. His balance is bad tonight.
Some of that's mental. He said he wasn't comfortable shooting in this building. Inside is Shaquille O'Neal, and now it's 101-94. Orlando by 7 with 2:13 to go. Do the Bulls have it in them? Pippen misses. Blunt rebounds and is fouled by Horace Grand, and that'll be 5 on Horace.
That's only the 4th team foul, so they had it 1 to waste. Bob, Shaquille is so powerful. Look at this dunk, and guys crash into him. He doesn't even, it doesn't phase him. It didn't even knock him. If guys in the air, doesn't even move him. I mean, the guy is 7 feet tall and weighs 315 pounds.
With, what, Nobody found it.
Well, he can have some of mine. I can help him there. I can help him there.
Jordan missing the jumper. That's the kind of shot that would get the Bulls back in the game. Michael Jordan, let's point out one other factor here tonight. This is his third game back. He's also a little tired from playing in his third game. The energy at the first game, he had a relatively easy night in Boston, and tonight seeing some tiredness as Anderson misses the three. That would have been a big nail. But Shaw with the offensive board at minute 35 to go.
See, Tony Kukoc didn't block him out. He's got to go get his body on him. Horace kicks the ball alive. You've got to go get contact. This is going to give you 48 seconds on this possession. Get you down to about a minute and 10 seconds before you have to shoot the ball.
Well, it's a reality check for Chicago fans. Anfernee Hardaway missing.
Look who's there again.
Horace Grand, he's fouled by Pippen.
Look who's there again. I just was given a statistic by our crack statistician Chuck Gardner saying Grand 12 rebounds. Well, I can scratch that and put 13. Two big ones on this possession. He has 5 offensive rebounds in the game, and what he's done is basically seal this ball game tonight by getting extra possessions, extra shots, running time off the clock.
Something the Bulls coaches knew, something you knew, and those of us who follow the NBA considered a high possibility, and that is that Michael Jordan is not going to take this team to the promised land first 3 games back, and that's become very clear tonight, and we're seeing people leaving the United Center with a minute 15 to go, and the Bulls down 7. Timeout, Chicago. Minute 15 to go in this ball game. The Bulls down 7. Shaquille O'Neal has been the man for Orlando, along with Penny Hardaway and along with Horace Grand and Nick Anderson. Coming up right after this ball game, the story of Louisiana Senator Huey P. Long. John Goodman stars in the TNT original movie Kingfish, following the NBA tonight on TNT.
You know, Bob, when you look at the Orlando box score, O'Neal and Grant, 40 points between them, 19 rebounds. Penny Hardaway with 22. Nick Anderson, a big first half with 21, and Brian Shaw, 2 critical three-pointers as his team was slipping away from it in the fourth quarter. Dennis Scott couldn't find his shot. Brian Shaw hit some big baskets. So they've made some big-time experience plays. And again, I think tonight, once this game is over, Brian Hill's going to be very, very happy that his team had to go through this tonight. Because again, to reiterate what we talked about in the opening, this is what they're going to see in the playoffs every single night.
And remember, Orlando has never won a playoff game. They were 0 for 3 last year and out of the playoffs. So this playoff atmosphere kind of game can get them back in. Do the Bulls have firepower to close this margin in these few seconds? No. Anderson blocks Winnington. So Pippen, Jordan, and Grant have been reunited here, and probably the only person happy about this reunion tonight will be Horace Grant, under a minute to go.
And I tell you, a guy who will not sleep tonight, knowing him the way I do, and that's Michael Jordan. And he is going to be stewing and fretting about, I want my game back tomorrow, not in the future. I want it back tomorrow. And I think, Bob, what we've seen is it is going to take him some time.
Pippen for 3, 102.97, 5-point difference, 33.6.
Now, there's still plenty of time. Orlando cannot fall asleep here and turn the basketball over, and they're going to have to convert free throws.
Bulls had the foul to give there.
Brian Shaw, 76% free throw shooter.
The Bulls' personal foul.
Didn't they have? They only said, no, that's the 5th. They'll be shooting it.
What do you think about Michael's night here tonight, Bob? What's your feeling as you watch this sort of unfold and being the city the last couple days?
Well, it's a reality check for the fans and the Chicago media. This city loves to love, and they love to love Michael Jordan. And I think everybody presumed that Michael could come back. The rest of the NBA, and we're looking at one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league in Orlando here, that the rest of the NBA just wouldn't be able to deal with him. But he's 32 years old. Even though he's Michael Jordan, he cannot turn this franchise around in 3 games. And I think it's a real reality check for the fans and for the media here in Chicago and perhaps around the country.
What do you think that Michael's feeling right now, pressure-wise and all? What do you think that he's really feeling the pressure of this whole situation?
Yes, you can see it from the beginning of the game, and Doug, you know him so well from living with him and going with him. However, it'll be interesting to see if he can recover enough to throw up some big numbers tomorrow in Atlanta. Back with the final 26 seconds after this. Well, the Magic has this one in the bank. 7-point lead with 26.9 to go. The homecoming for Michael Jordan. And he proved that he is human. Still, for almost anybody in the NBA, a night of 19 points, 8 assists, 5 steals, 4 rebounds would be an excellent game. But Michael Jordan will be very disappointed, and Doug, you said it well, he won't sleep tonight.
No, he won't, and Phil won't either when he sees these numbers on the boards. One thing Phil has said is, do we have the ability to retrieve the basketball? Tonight, Orlando, 52-35, out-rebound Chicago, 22 offensive rebounds.
26.9 remaining in this game. Bulls have the ball with 26.9. Nothing short of a miracle would do it, and this is not going to be a night of miracles. As a matter of fact, it's been a night of magic.
See,
Orlando magic.
I really believe, as you see Michael take it to the basket. Now he exploded there. That was the most powerful leap Michael's had all night.
22 seconds left. Whoa, where did that come from? Hello. Alone, Horace Grand. 106.99, 17.4.
You know what? It was interesting before the game. Phil had some comments about Horace. They said, how are you going to prepare for Horace? And he goes, well, I'm not so sure Horace is going to play tonight. He's only played in one of the games against us. We're not going to prepare till we see he's going to play. Phil, Horace played tonight.
Horace played and led this Orlando Magic team to a character-building win under adverse circumstances at the United Center in Chicago, where they were blown out by 32 points the first time they played here this year. And the man who really had the sweet homecoming Chicago was Horace Grant. 19 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the field, 7 offensive boards. And Horace Grand is our Budweiser player of the game. And here's Craig Sager.
Well, Michael, with the magnitude of the event, all the attention we received, particularly today and tonight, what did you do to try to maintain your focus?
Well, I just went through my normal game plan. I'm trying to really focus on trying to get myself back into shape and, playing shape and all around. Tonight wasn't a good offensive night for me. I just really tried to do whatever I can other ways, but I'm really, my rhythm is not really good on my offense right now, and it's going to take some time. I realize that, but when I'm on the court, I just have to do other things. Rebound, block shots, play solid defense.
It was a frustrating night at times. It didn't look like you had your jumping ability until that very end. When will you know that you are back? What will have to happen?
I feel it. Right now, I'm really trying to get myself back. That's the purpose of playing these games. I mean, these games will get me really ready down the stretch, but right now I'm really trying to push myself, especially now in the games, and certainly my productivity is not where I want it to be offensively, but I'm really trying to do whatever I can to help the team.
You said you didn't like shooting in the gym this afternoon. The rims were tight. Third quarter, you had the steal and the big jam. You tried to loosen them up a little bit?
Well, I just tried to score 2 points. Even my legs gave out on me at that particular time too. But it's going to take some time. I realize that deep down inside, my competitiveness is just come out and produce. But it's going to take some time. I realize it, but I really have to be patient with this.
Well, like a rose, Michael Jordan by any number is still Michael Jordan. Number 45. You have many good games coming back. Let's go to Nicole.
Thanks. Shaquille, how does it feel to successfully ruin Michael's homecoming?
We just came in here, we just wanted to play our game. Michael is the world's greatest player, and it's an honor for all of us to be on the court with him. But, we just had to come out and play our game. We played good, we rebounded well, we shot the ball well, and, we won the game.
Tonight there was so much attention in the backcourt where Michael was, but you were successfully able to exploit the Bulls' inside game.
I just, try to, do the same thing I do every night, and that's just take the ball, go up strong, and, I did that, and, Anfernee Hardaway played a great game, Nick Anderson played a great game, and we won.
It's been a tough week for you guys. You faced Phoenix, now Chicago. Is it like getting a monkey off your back, especially on the road, getting a win here in Chicago?
Yeah, we just wanted to come in and, get a road win. Our road record was 16-15, so we want to try to create space on the road.
Okay, a big win for the Orlando Magic, 24 points and 16 boards for Shaquille O'Neal.
Thank you, Nicole. And the Orlando Magic, 106-99. Shaquille, Horace Grant, Nick Anderson, Anfernee Hardaway. A real balanced team effort for the best team in the East. Ernie Johnson will join us with scores right after this.
The Magic by 7 over the Chicago Bulls. Welcome back to the United Center. Ernie Johnson back with you. Tomorrow night, the Chicago Bulls' next stop is Atlanta. They'll take on the Hawks. And tonight, the Hawks were in Cleveland to take on the Cavs. And the last time these two teams met, the Hawks scored 29 points in the first half. That was a franchise low, and they lost the game. Tonight, they did that one better. The Hawks scoring 28 in the first half at Gund Arena and losing 75-74. Bobby Phills, a late free throw that clinched it for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Boston and Philadelphia playing at the Spectrum tonight, and Boston comes away a big winner, 107-75. The Celtics hanging in there, trying to nail down the number 8 spot, but it's quite a race for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Dominique at 26. Golden State at one point was outscored 26-0 by Miami in this game. The Warriors came back behind Latrell Sprewell, who scored 21 of his 37 in the fourth quarter, but Miami hangs on for a 115-111 win. The Heat, another one of those teams trying to get the number 8 spot in the Eastern Conference. Sacramento and Indiana at Market Square tonight, and it's the Pacers 103-96. The Dutch boy in the paint, Rick Smits, 31 and 16, a sweet double-double for the big guys. San Antonio and Minnesota at the Target Center tonight. The Spurs make it 6 straight wins. The Admiral had 29, 111-97. The Spurs are 17 and 3 since the All-Star break. Houston and Phoenix have gone to the fourth quarter now, all knotted up, 78 apiece. Sir Charles ringing them up for 30 through 3 quarters. Seattle and Portland at Memorial Coliseum tonight. They are in the second quarter. It is a 61-59. Typical Western Conference stuff going on there as the Sonics lead the Blazers by 2. And the Washington Bullets and the LA Lakers at the Great Western Forum, 26-22. The Bullets out to a surprising lead over the Lakers, as the Bullets are 8-24 on the road, and everybody knows that ain't good. Back here at the United Center with Warren Moon. We've talked a lot about Michael Jordan tonight. Let's talk about the Orlando Magic. You got to hand it to a team that comes into a hostile environment and takes care of business, Warren.
Yeah, you've got to give them a lot of credit. Nobody talked about the Magic and Shaquille O'Neal coming into this ball game. It was all Michael Jordan and the Bulls, but people forget they were the best team in the league as far as their record is concerned. They had just played last night, a tough game against Charlotte. Now they come in here tonight, like you said, against a hostile crowd, a workmanlike effort, and take this game away from Chicago.
But you've been there before. You've been in that situation where the other team is getting all of the attention. It can fire you up, can it?
It really can, because you want some respect, and this team is the best team in the league right now, record-wise. They're not getting the respect they deserve, especially tonight. They came in here and showed that they're the best team in the league, and like I said, a workman-type effort, just went methodically along the ball game, took it over in the fourth quarter, and won.
But one professional to another professional, you and Michael Jordan, what were your thoughts on his performance tonight?
Well, I thought he was a little bit off as far as his shooting was concerned. I think he was probably trying to do a little bit too much. He had a pretty good game as far as the overall stats. He had a lot of steals, a lot of rebounds, and a lot of assists, but his shot just wasn't there tonight. And I think that's something that's going to come in time, but he's definitely back. There's no question about it, and he'll be an impact for this Bulls team the rest of the way.
Warren, it's been great having you with us tonight. We look forward to our next assignment together.
Well,
Warren
so do
Moon joining us here in Chicago. Let's go back to Bob and Doug, guys.
Thanks, Ernie. By the way, welcome to Warren Moon, to our Turner Sports family. No question about it. Warren has some basketball knowledge, and it's nice to have the great football player joining us, and he'll be with us down the stretch here and during the playoffs. And now let's take a look at the summary of tonight's ball game. And the first summary, of course, is what Michael Jordan did. And Michael Jordan had 21 points, but was only 7 of 23.
Well, Bob, I think what happened tonight, you saw Michael